Welcome to the Heavy Drinking Podcast with your hosts, Americans, O and Jeff. He's not.
What's up, man? Hey, yo, what's going on, yo? I'm sick and tired of 5-0 running up on the block, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Snow, they came around looking for you the other day. Word, bust it. Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go play.
Guan. What up, boy? Blah, blah, blah. This be the Heavy Drinking Podcast. Me talking like this because it's the Canadian episode.
Hey.
On the mic is my co-host, Jeff.
Hey, what's up?
And my co-host, Jay.
What's happening?
And Dave. Guan.
I can't right now.
It's not Wangwan, it's Wagwan.
It's Guan.
It's Wagwan. No, Wan is a
Well, you're the Canadian.
yeah, exactly.
So,
This is the Canadian drinking special.
It is.
I just come back from Toronto. I got back on Monday. I brought a bunch of beers.
And a sour toe cocktail, I hope.
I didn't know. That's the other side of the country, unfortunately.
We're just all going to suck on Jeff's toe.
We could do that
one
too.
point.
We could get some Canadian Club whiskey and suck on my toes if you want.
sounds like a wonderful time.
That is Informer by Snow.
Yeah. Boombaclot with this music.
He is from Toronto, which is pretty weird if you listen to it.
That's where I
He's also white.
That's where I perfected my Canadian accent by listening to a ton of snow.
I mean, this is what
12 inches of it to be exact.
This is what I sounded like when I got here. I lost my accent over time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I did sound like a Jamaican rapper when I got here.
It's good because we told Jeff we were going to open with the Canadian national anthem.
Well,
that's what we played.
The reason why we're doing this is Jeff went to Toronto.
I just went to Toronto for my cousin's wedding. That was on Saturday, and I came back on Monday.
You wore that sweet suit.
I did wear that sweet suit. There's
You should post a picture of you in that suit if you get one.
I actually,
fancy.
my uncle is like a proper cowboy from the West Coast, and I got real drunk in his cowboy hat. That was pretty funny. So I had like a sweet suit on with a cowboy hat. It was really funny.
Yeah. And he brought back a fuck ton. That's how they measure things in Canada. Of beer.
Yeah, it's the metric system, so it is.
That's
actually
how they work. It's kilogram, fuck ton.
Yeah, ton, fuck ton.
Fuck ton. Yeah.
I can't concentrate with snow in the background.
If you consider a six-pack, fuck that.
Well, it's 6-pack of tall boys,
It is true.
and then
We've got 7 beers.
and we have another. We had another Toronto beer in the fridge already, so we're gonna do all those today. But I don't think we're gonna do them right now. What have you guys been up to while I was gone?
Football season started.
Oh yeah.
Oh, love me some football.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one here that loves me some football.
Yeah, I was at the bar 2 nights ago. What day is it? Last night. I was at the bar.
Thursday night football.
And just I found myself realizing that I was just staring at football. I wasn't watching it. I was just staring at it as I drank my beers.
Do you know the rules? Can you follow it if you're staring at it?
I just don't have the capacity, I think, to really pay attention.
I actually like the game. I just hate the fucking commercial.
I hate the players. I love the game.
You're an idiot.
I'll give you that one.
I've only
It's in an awkward place right now.
Yeah.
I saw the Patriots play live, and the game was over like in like a heartbeat, and on TV it just drags on and on and on. I can't watch it.
Yeah. Well, they have TV timeouts and there's tons of commercials.
But like when you're there, like
yeah, it goes by quicker.
It goes by way faster.
Yeah.
I like to go to live sporting events, but I realize when I'm there, I just like the atmosphere of like everyone together. But I realize I still don't pay attention to the game like at all.
Football's a little tough to follow live unless you have like a decent amount of like replay around. I actually went to AT&T Stadium in Dallas. The neat thing about that is they have this gigantic like Megatron television. Everybody knows about it. It's like 70. Yeah.
Does it turn into a gun?
No.
Starscream can fire it across the stadium?
Was Megatron the one that turned into a gun?
Wasn't it?
No, that's not Megatron.
That was Megatron.
No, that was one of the small guys. That was a cassette. Remember the cassette turned into a gun?
No, that was Soundwave.
No,
Megatron was
You're confusing me.
Megatron.
Now we're going to get hate mail.
Megatron, believe me, I'm a nerd. Megatron turned into a gun. Starscream would fire him. But what the fucked up part was Megatron was the same size as Starscream when he wasn't a gun.
Yeah.
But when he was a gun, he was small enough to be handheld.
Manhandled.
Where's all the extra metal come from?
Machine
I heard that
handled.
joke somewhere. I feel bad saying that.
Say it.
I heard somebody make a I believe, some sort of Transformers joke where they talk about how there's extra metal that just shows up.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is like when Optimus Prime used to transform, like his trailer just disappeared.
Yeah, where'd that go?
Like, it like literally in the cartoon, it just like went like
what
off
was
the
his
screen
legs?
and then just never came back.
It was
Crashed.
legs,
He
wasn't it?
lost all
No.
of his stuff that he was getting paid to transport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what was up with that?
It's literally the worst to hire for that job.
I just felt bad for the guy. I just felt bad for the,
taking my shoes off.
I felt bad for the 42-year-old guy that bought Bumblebee as like a weekend driver.
I don't think they were on the market. I think they just kind of hung out together.
They should do a new like series or season where they're like all Ubers.
They should make a movie
They should make a movie. That would be cool.
or fucking
Or
9 of
5.
them.
Yeah.
There's just gay sex when the trucks pull into the truck stops.
Severely gay.
Severely.
It's just too crazy of a story for them not to cash in on it with the movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a crazy life. Whenever, I don't know. That's up there with Jesus.
It should have a lot of explosions too. That would make it really cool.
Yeah.
I know a guy that
Only difference.
Michael Bay to do it.
Only difference is this
Nah.
happened in like the 80s.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're stupid.
We are stupid. Oh, what I was saying was though, football stadium has a giant screen so that
It's called a jumbotron.
a
not
jumbotron,
not a Megatron.
Megatron. But
But that should be also a transformer as a dildo.
Why? Why? Because his name's Tron.
it's jumbo size.
Jumbotron. That's rude.
Anyway, you were saying?
No,
I don't
it's
think we're going to get to it.
it's a great setup because you see the play happen on the field and then you can actually watch the replay of it 3 seconds later on the gigantic screen over your head. So it's like you're watching TV, but you're there. You
I
know?
did find myself watching the screen a lot.
Yeah.
Just
That's
to-
like paying.
It helps with football.
It's like
if you're
paying
watching.
$100 to watch McGregor fight.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a dumb thing to do. It would be.
I went to, it was years ago at this point. Jesus, I'm horrible with time. But I was at Yankee Stadium the day Jeter hit his 3,000th hit. And
Cool.
it was just, it was really cool to be there in that moment. It was insane. The place erupted. It was awesome to be there, but like, I still can't just watch a baseball game.
I can't take baseball seriously at all.
Derek Jeter's just a baller, man.
Yeah.
He went through that. He went through a whole career without having a kid or going through a divorce. Do you know he made people sign a non-disclosure form every time they walk into his apartment?
to see his dick.
Anybody who went to his apartment, your cell phone went into a box and you signed a non-disclosure form.
Why? What's he got in there?
No, he would just bring chicks back and just rail them, and then he in the morning they wake up and he's gone.
How do you know that's what happened?
There's a story about it.
It's non-disclosure.
It's well known. Well, actually,
I see holes in your story.
No. This is the thing. It became disclosed because one of the chicks that he banged like 5 years prior, he ended up hooking up with again, but not remembering that he hooked up with her. So the first time around, I think they went out for drinks or something at the dinner, brought her back, turned her out. That's not Min's words. That's what he did. And then he would leave in the morning, and then they'd have a car waiting for her. And in the car, there would be a basket of like a gift basket with like a signed ball and like a picture of him.
Wait, I thought that was somebody else. I thought that
No,
wasn't
it's Derek Jeter. So she got that, and then 5 years later, she met up with him again. And from what she was under the idea that he remembered her, So they go out,
Oh, baby, what is you doing?
go through the whole process again, right? And then the next
Gave her the
morning,
same gift basket. That sucks.
the next morning, the driver's like, "Oh, hi," kind of does the same act, and she's like, "You know who I am? Like I've been here before, like a couple years ago." And driver's like, "All right." So she goes down to the car, and the same basket sitting there. Oh, it was so nice meeting you. I've never met anybody like you ever. Like this wonderful card. And she's like, "Whoa, it's just fuck is this?" I think she ratted him out, but that's essentially what he would do. Kudos to him, man.
Wasn't he dating someone that went to Yale and he was like always around New Haven?
I don't know. Well, I think he lived in Oxford or something like that, or Brantford. He had
There
like
was
a
some
mansion
actress
up here.
that went to Yale.
Claire Danes went to Yale.
No, it wasn't her.
Lots of actresses went to Yale, actually, but I don't remember him being around.
He was up around that area. I forgot who it was though.
Yeah. You sure he
Because
didn't mean
mainly I don't care.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know about that.
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter.
He's a biracial angel. That's what he is.
Did you ever see that Will Ferrell thing when Jeter retired?
No.
It was like literally just Will Ferrell's face in the camera, just doing a Boston accent, like chanting Jeter, like yelling at him from the stands. It was hysterical.
Yeah, I don't really follow baseball. I don't really follow football. I could watch football. I don't mind watching football, but I don't like have a team or anything. But hockey and soccer are my game, but they're basically the same game.
Yeah.
One's just colder.
Well, that's good. That's good because telling from our demographics on Beanpod, a good majority of the people that listen to this show are from Connecticut, which means the good majority of them are
wonder why.
are Giants fans. And I am a diehard Cowboys fan, so this is going to be a great few series of podcasts coming up.
There's a lot of Patriots fans in Connecticut too.
Yeah, I got nothing against Patriots.
That's very true.
Actually, there's a lot of people at my work who are Jets fans, so I give them a condolence card at the beginning of every season.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe next year.
Someday.
The season hasn't even started yet. Give them a card. Say, maybe next year.
Yeah, it's tough being a Jets fan, man.
What's
It's pretty tough being a Jets fan, but
so you watch football? That was all you did this week?
that's all I did.
What'd
I
you do?
prepped for that.
You watch football too?
I worked a lot, and then well, if you want, I could tell you what I did, but I'll bring you into a conversation that I'm not sure if you guys want to have.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
No.
Well, then fuck off. Jay,
I want to know now.
Well, you know, for my post on the Facebook.
Oh no, I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
Oh, that's
Dave, what were you up
You
to?
want to talk about Earth stuff?
Nope.
I'm going to bring it up at some point.
Yeah, well, let's get drunk first.
Yeah, let's do that. Also, this week is also sort of the beginning of it's sort of the beginning of drinking season. Golly, October.
beginning-
There's a season.
I don't know.
It's the beginning of cuffing season. I had to explain to somebody what cuffing season was.
Explain to me right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what cuffing season is?
No,
Yeah.
Is it Canadian?
educate
No.
everybody.
Sounds Canadian.
Cuffing
does.
season is okay. So like in the summer, you always have shit to do. There's just always stuff going on,
Yeah.
and you don't want to.
I call it work.
Does this end with me having to refer to somebody as Z or Zer?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Uh,
I don't know, cuffing season. Go ahead.
yeah, no. Cuffing season is just when the fall starts and the summer's over and stuff starts winding down, and then everything that was going out and getting hammered with your friends all summer now is couple stuff. You go fucking
Like you're handcuffed.
pumpkin picking and stuff and shit like that. It's when couples get together.
Yeah.
It's basically handcuffing yourself to
Oh,
a
all right.
person.
All right.
It's they call it cuffing season. It's when relationships start in the fall. Because you got through the summer, you had your fun, and now it's time to settle down so you don't
You want
freeze
to be
to death.
cozy. A little,
So you don't freeze to death over
could
the
wear a
winter.
sweater and some
guess.
jeans.
Yeah, I'd take weird pictures and pumpkin patches and shit.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's the exact opposite. He actually meets girls in early to late spring, hangs out with them all summer, just have somebody to bang. And then when the cuffing season starts, he gets really I need my space.
Distant.
And he usually drops chicks. Because from what he says, that's where the relationship starts becoming more expensive. Because all the holidays
True,
come
that's
up.
true, yeah.
You got Valentine's Day.
He's a smart man.
Somehow
Can you
you're-
meet him?
Yeah, we can have him on here. My buddy Al. But it's a great strategy. He's 37, lives by himself.
Me too. Bold move,
But he-
Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
But he fucking loves it though. So I can't blame him. I don't know how great it is.
Well, your wife not hear that part of this episode.
Well, he's been cuffed for several seasons now.
My wife knows him. It's what's funny is my wife keeps on trying to hook him up with women. It never works out. Surprise, surprise. Because doesn't want it to work out.
Are they cute?
Oh yeah.
Monster49@gmail.com. We in this bitch. Get at me.
What did you do this week, Jeff?
I just fucking told you.
Did
He
you?
was in Canada.
You weren't in Canada the whole week.
I came back Monday.
That's the beginning of the week.
Tuesday, I went hiking up in New Milford. That was fun. I found a cool overlook, and that was cool. And then I went back to work.
I bought a grill and some tiki torches.
Jesus Christ! Did you buy a fucking polo shirt and
No.
a sign that
I did
says
it for my
white
daughter.
supremacy?
To
MAGA
make the
hat.
deck a little more comfortable.
Wait, tiki torches and a what?
A grill.
Oh yeah. Did you cook anything?
I did. Made some steaks. Pork chops
I don't-
another night.
I don't approve of that. That's cool though. I haven't seen your backyard. I didn't know you had a place for a grill.
Yeah, but actually, decent sized deck.
I don't think anyone's been invited over.
It's nothing much.
It's nothing to brag about.
It's in Ansonia. It's
Bigger than normal decks.
yeah.
You know, for a white guy, it's all right.
Yeah. Keeps it clean.
Is it circumcised?
I don't have any. The funny thing is, I don't have any like furniture for the deck.
So you just stand and grill?
No, we just brought like the table outside.
The kitchen table?
Yeah, we did.
There you go.
Yeah, it's nice.
Improvisation.
Do you bring it back in so when it rains, it doesn't get all fucked up?
Yes. Well, I brought it back in after dinner.
So, which beer from the great island of Canada are we trying first?
Not an island, but I will. So basically, all the beers that I chose
North of the wall.
north of the North Wall. There's 7 beers here. Most of them are actually from Toronto, which is where I was. It's where I'm from. It's where I grew up. Some of them are just local Ontario beers.
Is it true that Slurpees had venison in them at one point in Canada?
No.
Okay, I thought I heard that once. Proceed.
Why would you put meat in a Slurpee?
I don't know. They're like some kind of
Because Canada.
something in deer. I don't know.
No.
That's one of the most retarded things I've heard you say.
All right, I'm just gonna
Google it.
I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna grab whatever the first one I grab is gonna be. All right, this is a beer from the Great Lakes Brewery. It is called Canuck Pale Ale.
You Canuck.
It has a picture of a lumberjack on the front, and there's nothing more Canadian than that, except for a story that I'm going to tell later because I just remembered it. So Jay, tell us about Canuck Pale Ale, but before he says that, I do want to reiterate, and we've said this a million times, every beer that I chose was based on the label. If you make beers and you're not paying a marketing guy a shitload of money, you're fucking up. Because honestly, every time we choose a new beer, it's because it's got a cool fucking label on it.
Yeah,
so
that's 100% true.
you need to be paying that motherfucker, and he needs to be doing his job. Or she. I don't want to sound like a shitlord.
I usually don't like to read their little stories if they have like a little story, but this one sounds funny because it has beaver in it. The minute you crack your can, aroma of grapefruit, mango, and pine hit you in the face like a beaver slapping his tail in a pristine small body of water in Ontario. Canuck pours deep gold, bordering on burnt orange that produces a tight, snowy white toke. Take a last nose before getting into the liquid, which you'll soon find to be hard to put down. Blah, blah, blah. Soft carbonation, sweet honeyish start before it gives way to grapefruit, tropical citrus, canned peaches, and pine. Light to medium body with a very dry finish. This is Great Lakes Brewery, Canuck Pale Ale, 5%.
5%.
Alcohol by volume.
They don't like a lot of high alcohol beers up there, do they?
That's not true. There are several. I just personally don't like high alcohol beers,
Dude,
so I didn't choose
You know what
any.
we got to get eventually?
What's that?
Actually, I didn't even look at the beers you brought, but Unibrew is from Canada.
Yeah, I believe they're from Quebec.
They do a shit ton of high alcohol beers because they're Belgian.
They
style
sure
brewery.
do. Fucking Fin du Mont is like
Yeah.
one of the drunkest nights I've ever had in fucking New Haven. So I'm not a huge fan of IPAs, but I figured I know you guys like them, so I figured I'd get a
Well, that's
variety.
very thoughtful of you. Thank you, Jeff.
I mean, 3 of the 6 are dark beers, but fuck you.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, sour. At the end.
I can see why you'd say that. I disagree, but I can see why you'd say that.
It's mild. I think it's mild.
It's very
It's very mild. It's not bitter at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the IBUs were really low. 14 IBUs. That's very low.
What's IBU?
International Bittering Units. It's about the hops.
I heard they recently added more.
It's very mild. Very easy drinking.
I think you'll find a lot of the local beers in Ontario are pretty mild. Like you said, the Unibrew is from Quebec. Most of the stuff I've ever tried in Ontario has been pretty smooth.
Yeah, I would like a little more bitterness to balance it out a little bit, to be honest, in my opinion. But it's not a bad beer. It's a very nice aroma.
Do you think it would be a good beer on a Tinder date?
Absolutely. Unless you're trying to get them drunk, then Le Fin du Monde.
Fin du Monde, yeah. Well, Fin du Monde probably leads to you hucking,
You know what that means?
hucking a shit out
Le
of
Fin
the...
du Monde?
Yes, I do. But I'm trying to fucking make a segue, dickhead. Fin du Monde would probably lead to you hucking a shit out the window and getting it stuck in between 2 windows. Did you guys hear about this?
I did.
I see what you did.
I did hear about that. I don't know what I would do. And that's it. Like,
Well, did you read the follow up? Well,
I
first
did.
of all, somebody who read the story, explain it, because I only read the follow up. I didn't read the original.
I feel like this article made Tinder look bad. And I just wanted to point out that if somebody was going to throw poo, they were going to do it regardless. It wouldn't matter
So it's
what
an
medium they
unfortunate.
used to find you.
It's an unfortunate window structure. I think is what led to this. That's not true.
no, it is.
There's a lot
That's
of
shitty. That's a shitty design. Why would you put a window next to a brick wall?
So
It
this
doesn't go
guy
anywhere.
takes his Tinder date home. She uses the restroom and takes a big old shit. And
Like
she
bigger than the
can't-
baby's arm?
Like she can't flush it, I think was the problem, right?
Yeah, that
So
was the
she
whole thing.
freaks out and she tries to throw it out the window, but this guy's window.
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait, so she just put her hand in the toilet?
She picked
Yeah.
up the shit.
She like wrapped it up in like toilet paper and chucked it out the window.
Wait, you can't
But-
wrap up a wet shit in toilet paper. It'll fall apart in your hand.
That's got to be one of the qualifying
I didn't
questions
say
on
she thought
Tinder
it
from now
through.
on.
Well, you think the
Hypothetically
rate at-
speaking,
the
if you took a
frequency-
shit big enough to fill a toilet, would you A, ask for help, B,
Wait, it was like
wrap the
coming
shit
out of
up
the
and
top?
throw it out the window?
I think it was just one big turd.
It's a Tinder date. You know what you're doing.
If you think about the frequency at which women
No, but
have a
hold on.
bowel movement, it's compacted. It's solid.
I don't know
it's
about
What are you
that.
talking about?
I'm thinking about
Listen,
the actual mass of
When
the
you
shit.
go out on a Tinder date, you know what the end of the night is probably gonna entail.
you would think.
All right,
some
and a
form
shit
of
that
sex.
big just doesn't run up on you all at once. You know that shit was building.
So you're saying she
women
should
go
have
for
cleared it at the
days.
restaurant?
Women go for days
And
sometimes.
then, but it doesn't just hit
Maybe
you.
she
like-
thought she had a whole nother day.
Dude, I don't.
Anyway, she had to take a shit. She takes a shit, won't flush. She pulls it out with her hands and tries to throw it out the window, but there's like two panes, I guess, and it falls in between the two panes.
Well, yeah,
So now
there's, like, right on the other side of the window, there's a brick wall that is just like closed off. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not like another building. It's not
she
like
threw it out like a window that doesn't have an actual.
that doesn't go anywhere.
I didn't know that.
Where did this happen?
It's New Jersey. The only reason I make that up,
I don't know.
I had an apartment in New Jersey, and the only window, the bathroom had no windows. There's only one little tiny window in the shower.
I'm sure it wasn't your apartment.
It was my apartment.
No, I'm saying, I'm sure this
Oh,
shit
no,
story
I'm
didn't
just-
happen in your apartment.
No. I'm wondering if there's more buildings that were built in the same method. Because there's only the bathroom only had one window, and it would face like this open. It was just like this open part of the building that was just there for like ventilation, I guess. But it was weird. Like, it wasn't like it was only like 4 feet by 4 feet. Like if you looked across, you'd see into somebody else's shower.
So
It's kind of hood rich.
then what happened?
Oh, I thought Dave was looking something up.
No, I'm going.
She
Facebook
tried.
Live.
She
Good luck editing this fucking episode.
yeah. She tried to get the shit out, and she like had to like lean up over the window.
Yeah,
And she fell
down.
into it. And then like the guy had to like call the fire department, and firefighters showed up to like get her out of
So
the
wait, she was
window.
just like stuck there
There's a picture of her like hanging in it.
with a shit in her
Yeah,
hand?
they had to break the window to get her out.
They did.
You know what though? That's commendable because she wasn't nasty enough to just leave the shit there. Like she tried to retrieve it. You know, like she saw the error in her ways,
Well,
and she was trying to fix it.
I feel like I read that she actually told the guy about it before she went to try to get it out. So I don't know. It's an awkward date at best.
She was like, "So check this out.
Well-
check this out. Chicks don't shit for days sometimes." So I thought I
don't
had
know
at
where you
least
guys
a
are
day
getting
left.
this information that chicks don't shit for days.
There's
I
some-
thought that's the story we were going with. I could have
Seems
swore that was the
plausible.
story we were going with.
So I didn't read the entirety of the original article, but I did read a follow-up article that apparently they're still dating.
All right.
So whatever happened before Shitgate must have been fucking amazing. Because I'll tell you what, it'd have to be pretty fucking amazing for me to invite you out on another date.
I mean,
And not because you shit or because you clogged the toilet, but because you thought your best course of action was to reach in with your hands and grab it.
well, hey, it could have been worse. How many Tinder dates actually end up in a relationship? This chick did the worst thing possible and hooked
49 at
somebody.
gmail.com.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but however, my point is, how do you know that's the worst thing possible? That's date one material.
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck's
The guy is quoted as saying,
the
like, you know
lesson-
what? We'll see what happens. He thought she was cool, I think.
Yeah. Well, there,
She can
ladies,
handle her shit.
there's any women listening to this, that is the key.
You're such an idiot.
That is the key to finding a man. Eat as much meat, red meat as possible, as little fiber as you can take in, and just
Squeeze out a grumper in your head.
just a full on prison baby.
I mean, why even use the toilet? Just shit right in your hand and fucking fling it out
Shit in
the
the
window.
tub. It doesn't matter. It's the most embarrassing thing that you can possibly do because it's gonna land you a relationship.
Dude,
thing.
I had a party at one of my apartments once. There was probably like, I don't know, 15 to 20 people there.
Yeah.
And someone, and I know it was a female, I just know, clogged my toilet and it backed up into my bathtub. What the hell was that about? There was shit in my bathtub.
and you probably dated her afterwards.
No, I was married at the time.
Did Devin do your plumbing?
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, you need to either call Devin to fix it
This
or
was
ask him why he
pre-Devin.
did it.
This was before I knew Devin. Anyway, it was gross cleaning that.
Speaking of poo and parties, there was a woman that just got arrested in Milford this week for
Oh, I saw that.
covering her. I guess she still lives with her ex-husband, or they're getting divorced or whatever, and she like smeared shit all over his
No,
toothbrush.
she didn't because there was already a restraining order against her.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
So what did she just smeared shit on? She broke into his house and shit on his
She
toothbrush?
got into his apartment or the house and she put shit on his toothbrush.
Shout out to Milford.
Can we be honest? You have to be a real piece of shit to be a woman and have a restraining order placed against you.
Yeah, that-
For abuse.
For-
Abuse. Yeah.
That is wow.
Yeah, there's got to be some hard evidence for that.
Yeah. Come on now.
I wonder if she like
That's like a white person getting pulled over for a busted tail.
wait, but I wonder if she like shit in the toilet and then wiped the thing in it, or if she like, you know, when you like
Stuck it in
squeeze
her butthole.
toothpaste, you know, when you squeeze toothpaste onto the toothbrush,
Yeah.
if she just like stuck the toothbrush on her ass and squeezed out shit on it, like it was toothpaste, or if she just stuck it right up her asshole.
How did he know that?
We need to know.
Yeah.
203-463-4043 if you have ever smeared a toothbrush with shit. We would like to hear from you.
Or Instagram, Facebook,
Side note,
Snapchat.
We're on Facebook Live right now, too.
Oh, we are on Facebook. Cool.
the new Canadian government drafted a new
No suicides.
constitution, and to ensure there were no loopholes or room for interpretation, it was over 1,100 pages long. On page 873, the Book of Javex 12, 31 to 33, it was decreed that a third Slurpee flavor be made available in all Canadian gas stations. Thus, the venison Slurpee was born.
What year was that?
1822.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There was a venison Slurpee.
There were no Slurpees in 1822.
I think you're wrong.
Sounds just like a frozen chutney.
You think
What
that
is
7-Eleven existed in 18?
Yo, Slurpee didn't. I don't know. I'm reading it off something.
Yeah. Is it fucking?
Yeah, I've heard it before. There's a
this is
band called
bullshit.com?
Chicks Dig It, a Canadian band. You ever heard of them?
I've heard of the
They have
band,
a
but
song,
I don't know.
Let's
who
Go
they-
to Canada, and they mention it in
Let's
there.
Go to Canada is a 5 Iron Frenzy song.
They probably have
I
like
think it's a cover.
5 Iron
probably-
Frenzy is the original.
They probably put them near rivers.
I know that.
so that they could use a water wheel to keep the hot dogs rolling. Back in 1800s.
They definitely didn't have Slurpees in the 1800s.
I don't know.
I promise you. I don't even think there was like refrigeration.
Well, no, I don't know. I was really skipping around this article. That's weird.
Yeah, you're weird. So let's have another beer, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm going to read more into this as we drink.
All right, what's next?
Okay, I'm gonna take a dark beer this time because I want to try a dark beer. This one is called by the Napanee Beer Company Blacklist Black German Lager.
So we are now in Connecticut drinking Canadian beer
Poured by a Canadian man.
that's actually German.
I'm a deeply Canadian man.
Boring things we talk about.
This is
while
smooth
we
and rich, light and
prepare.
refreshing. Notes of coffee and subtle dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
5.3% alcohol by volume. It's a German lager, huh?
It's a Canadian
Black
interpretation
German lager.
of German lager.
That's cool. They probably use a German yeast. So that makes it pretty authentic.
The yeast comes from Berlin. Okay, it's a dark pour. It looks good. Smells fucking
Black
real
lager,
good.
yeah. Jinqui.
Gentlemen. When was that from? Remember we were doing that last time?
Now, do they basically talk English in Toronto? Or?
This is fucking delicious.
That's very nice.
This is really good. Napanee Beer Company, shout out.
Toronto's English.
Or do you have to like sharpen up on French?
They don't speak French in anywhere in Canada
Quebec.
except for Quebec.
Quebec.
Where's mine?
Gotcha.
In front of you.
I'm too busy multitasking.
The only place that people speak French in Canada is Quebec, and even most of Quebec, they don't speak French. Montreal, people speak English most places. But it is the second language, the official second language of the country. However, Spanish is the official second language of America. And do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I do.
Speak.
But I speak Portuguese.
That's not Spanish.
It gets by as Spanish.
And you don't speak Portuguese because you're American. You speak Portuguese because you're a pork chop.
Because my parents are Portuguese.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in a Portuguese household. But I grew up in a Portuguese household with a bunch of Mexican guys around that work for my father. So, grew up around people who spoke Spanish.
Yeah, but what you're saying is that your father taught Mexican people to speak Portuguese.
No.
Because
I'm telling
you
you.
don't speak.
No. See, what Spanish is, you could take Portuguese and you just swap out a couple words like pollo and
That means chicken.
yeah, I know, but it's not the same word in Portuguese. But you can get
Is
by.
it cock? Something cock in Portuguese?
No, that's what I'm saying. You can get by. If somebody spoke Portuguese slowly to somebody Spanish, you'd be able to communicate.
There's a really awesome Portuguese singer that I like a lot. I can't think of her name right now. She was like from the 60s and she died when she was like 25 or something. I'll play it for you later.
I bet you didn't know Nelly Furtado was Portuguese.
I think she's Canadian. From Canada. She's Canadian.
I don't know where my home is. I only know where my... Sorry. What has she been doing?
Nelly Furtado?
Yeah.
Being hot?
And
Sure, she's being hot
having a
somewhere.
weird voice.
So what do we think of this one?
This is a very, very nice beer. I
like
could
this
drink
one
a
a
lot
lot.
of these.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, this doesn't have a bitter aftertaste. You know, if I had to describe
Slightly
it,
bitter, like from the roastiness of the grains.
yeah,
It's different.
If I had to describe it, it sort of tastes like if you can imagine what a semi-sweet chocolate milk would taste like.
Yeah.
With booze in it.
With booze in it, yeah.
Yeah.
of
That's
course.
that's very good.
It
What
is.
you just
Yeah,
said.
it is a little milky.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Napanee. I'm not sure if this is Ontario or Toronto. Let me see what it says.
I like how black the can is.
Napanee, Ontario. That makes sense. So this is outside of Toronto, but in the same province. I thought of
Be a nice fire lit, kind of cuddling up type of beer.
it's a cuffing season beer.
Yeah, it's a cuffing season beer. The only thing that would ruin this beer, I think, would probably be a wrinkly scrotum.
You can't have that.
I mean, if you pour it over, then it might start going in different directions and stuff.
Yeah.
How would you fix that?
I don't know. I think you would get a Botox or something out.
just shoot botulism into your nuts.
Yeah, that's a new thing now. Scrotox.
Scrotox.
Yeah.
We're out.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't really able to read up on the Scrotox much.
Oh, I watched the whole video actually.
Yeah,
I
did too.
Listen, guys, I'll take this one. So who sent it to the Slack? Was it you, Jay?
Yes, it was I.
So,
Yeah, it was Jay.
so Jay was researching ways to get the wrinkles out of his nutsack and came across an article.
Shaving them it's tough when it's all up there.
My whole argument is, how do you know when it's too wrinkly? Like, where do you draw the line? Because it's
If you have
wrinkly
one,
by nature.
if you have one, it's too wrinkly. It's basically what these people are saying.
Yeah.
So there's people that are shooting botulism into their nuts in order to rid their scrotum of wrinkles. For anybody who I don't know who hasn't seen a scrotum, which I imagine 99.99% of our listeners have one.
Yeah.
They're very wrinkly, and I think they're meant to be. But apparently, if you shoot them with Botox, then it takes the wrinkles out. The video of the guy, he said that he wasn't really convinced as to why somebody would want to do this. And his girlfriend thought it sounded like a stupid fucking idea. But when he got home and all the wrinkles came out of his nuts, she actually was pretty into it.
Yeah.
Just a smooth, completely smooth. Did he shave it, or was it like a
think he shaved
non-wrinkly hairy ball?
I think he shaved it before he went in.
I don't know, Dave. What would you do?
Tattoo his fucking name on it.
I mean, I looked at the photos. And it kind of just sort of looks like, yeah, that's a fact. It kind of just looks like elephantitis. A little bit.
Oh, those like pictures where like they're so big
Looks
that they
like a tumor.
They like got the wrinkles out because the skin stretched so hard over the.
Yeah, ladies, you take the wrinkles out, it just looks like a tumor. It's a tumor.
I mean, have you ever like taken your nut skin and like pulled it real tight?
Oh,
Always.
everybody's done that.
It looks like chicken skin.
I do that like at least once a day.
But it looks like chicken skin. Like I can't imagine.
Feels good.
But if you take the wrinkles out, it's going to look like an unboiled raw chicken.
Was this the same article? I don't know if it was this article or another one I was reading where they had men that said that they were embarrassed of their scrotum retracting.
What?
That's
when they were during intercourse.
Girls like it when it's smaller.
you need it to do that. I think.
So it doesn't fucking
Maybe
whack
it's a
on your
different
butt
article. Maybe it's a different article then, because they said like in a different country, like they.
I mean, your balls move up and down for heat purposes.
I get that. What I'm saying is, I forget what country it was, but they said that they prefer floppy balls.
I don't know.
That was really it.
I want to be a part of the committee that does polls for entire countries to find out things like that.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good question.
it's like it's on the census. Do you prefer big sloppy hangers, or do you want like high and tight?
You're just going through the whole
I
questionnaire.
got big balls or big scrotum. Are they? I don't know if my balls are big.
Isn't that's an AC/DC song? Shout out to
got
AC/DC.
big balls? I mean, I don't know. Like, I'd be afraid to put fucking botulism in my nuts
Yeah.
or that close to my nuts.
Well, I was totally on board. I wouldn't do it myself, but I was totally on board with the video until that one moment where he injects him and you see him cringe a little bit.
What is that?
And I instantly thought, oh, he felt that.
Well, actually, in the
anything
video-
involving my nuts, I do not want to feel that. I don't want to feel anything you're doing down there.
Well, it's funny in the video you can
Especially
see
with the
him.
needle.
He does look like he's like wincing pretty
Yeah,
heavily, and
yeah.
as you'd imagine, you would. But at the end of it, he said it actually didn't hurt at all. It was just the idea that there was a needle going to his nutsack.
I guess my question is like, how does Botox work?
It paralyzes the nerves. The botulism paralyzes the nerves.
So the nerves that cause it to wrinkle up and get all tight,
Right.
just relax.
Right.
Yeah.
So my nuts will look like my sister's face.
I was gonna say that we better edit that out, but I think we might be on Facebook Live right now.
I think we are.
we are on Instagram Live right
Oh,
now.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
right.
And actually, and Gary's watching.
Is he really?
Shout out to Gary.
Is he the only one watching?
I tried to get that motherfucker to come tonight, but he wouldn't.
Anywho.
Oh, shall we try another beer?
Yeah. What do we got next?
Keep him going.
All right, so I think that the general consensus is Napanee beating Great Lakes handily right now, right?
I'd
I
agree
feel
with
like I'm
you.
gonna be in trouble for that one.
You are.
There's a joke in there somewhere about beating and handily.
You like it in the can. Dave, can I get a beer or are you fully occupied over there?
I'm only doing like 4 things, but no, I'll get you a beer.
All right. This next beer is called Henderson's Best, and this is a downtown Toronto beer. I found out about this beer at a bar that I was hanging out at. So my sister lives right downtown, and there's a bar right around the corner from her called the Pacific Junction Hotel that I hung out at a couple years ago. The last time I was there. And the bartenders are really cool. They have a radio station inside the bar where they were doing. So here we do power hours.
This was that place?
Yeah. So here we do power hours. And for people that don't know what that is, like you take a shot of beer every 60 seconds for an hour. It's a lot harder than it sounds. You get really drunk by the end of it.
You really do.
And those minutes go by so fast. Like you think it's a minute is a long time, but like you're still swallowing the last one and you're pouring the next one. By the end of it, it's like really intense. So what they were doing on the radio station in the bar while I was there was actually called a Century Club, which is a power hour, but it's 100 minutes instead of 60.
That's 100 beers.
It seemed It's 100 shots of beer,
Well, 100 shots of beer.
but it seemed ridiculous.
That would be neat if it was 100 different beers.
And it's a really cool place. So if you're ever in Toronto, check out the Pacific Junction Hotel. And they put up a heavy drinking sticker, so we've officially gone international.
Nice.
While I was there, I asked the bartender what some of his favorite local beers are, and this was one of them. Henderson's Best. They're right from Toronto. It actually has the CN Tower right on the label there. I don't know if you can see it, Dave. So we're gonna try this one. I had this one. He gave me a half pour of this.
While
just
you're
to try
pouring
it.
that, can I mention how the last episode we had was a French style beer with the bearded guard, and we actually had one download from France,
I also said that French people don't shower.
and it's the one episode where we made fun of French people. So that was great. That was my one side note I thought was funny.
And we don't know if that episode was the one that was downloaded.
I'm pretty sure it
Oh, okay.
was.
And I said that
I think it was because we tagged that beer, and that's probably why somebody in
Keywords.
France- Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I think I saw that it was.
And I said that French women don't shave their armpits. And I don't want to make France seem like Lilith Fair or anything like that. People there are very nice. Nothing like Lilith Fair.
So this is a modern take on classic English ale. Mild floral nose and an ABV of 5.5%. Smells English.
Yeah. So I had this one at the bar. Actually, the reason that I bought it, even though it's not a beer that I would normally try, I actually really liked it, so I grabbed it so you guys could try it too.
Malt forward, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's probably why I like it. What kind of beer was it again?
All right, this video is going downhill. I'm cutting it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary. What's the style again?
It's an English ale. That's all this says up here. Is it an English mild? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
It's also mild,
English mild.
like the other two.
Yeah, it's not a ESB.
No, I mean, they all have their own unique flavor,
I think
but
it's mild, which is a style of beer.
I do like it. Still.
it's like creamy.
Well, I mean, don't forget, I've imported this from a different country. So if you're from Toronto, you probably know what the fuck it is.
It's got like a really yellow head to it.
I peed in yours.
Oh, all right. That makes sense.
I think I might be getting some diacetyl notes in it, which if it's
Some asshole note?
diacetyl,
It's just my asshole nose.
which in certain styles of beer, it's actually okay, but it's generally seen as an imperfection in the beer.
This doesn't taste imperfect to me. I like it a lot.
Diacetyl is the same chemical compound that gives movie theater popcorn butter its flavor.
That's fucking delicious. Why would that be an
So if you
imperfection?
taste this and you think about that flavor,
Yeah.
Why would that be an imperfection? That's
because
delicious.
it's from it's a part of the brewing process where yeast, they call it a diacetyl rest, where the yeast sediment sits in the bottom of the vessel, and you let the beer stay on it because the yeast actually reabsorbs the chemical compounds.
I mean, I know you're saying it's like a chemical process and not necessarily indicative of a flavor, but I don't taste butter.
Yeah,
butter.
it's not. It's slightly there, but in certain English styles of beer, it's actually part
kinda-
of the style, so it's not necessarily.
There is a butteriness. There's like a creaminess to it.
yes,
It's not popcorn.
Why you be resting
not popcorn.
diacetyl?
It's the buttered popcorn.
Why you always try to be resting?
I like it.
Resting on your diacetyl.
But I think we're still.
It's not here. I'm still on the
Blacklist?
the blacklist.
Blacklist is still high. Well, see, I see that warms my heart because it's a dark beer.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I
That
really,
was.
really like that beer.
We cannot stress that enough.
That was the best one
delicious
so
beer.
far. They're all been good beers. I mean, that's definitely a very English style of beer for sure.
Well, Canada is sort of Little England in a lot of ways. I mean, we do have a queen. It happens
you?
to be the same queen as England.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
how does that work?
What do you mean?
So you guys just, what do you guys just?
Well, it's kind of like a divorce. Like they get them.
you guys just
weekends.
What do you
and
guys
every
just
other Wednesday.
simulcast their queen?
Yeah. Yeah, we just project whatever she's doing onto the town square.
Let's go
Somebody-
Facebook Live.
Yeah, we Facebook Live.
Does somebody voice over to add in like the ace and like all the kindness? Or
No, we just edit out the cunts.
all right.
Yeah. Canada is part of the monarchy.
Oh, all right. Well,
It's pretty fancy, and we fucking lay out the red carpet when she comes. I believe that we had this conversation earlier.
Did we?
About,
Are you a fan of the Queen?
about Mounties? Personally, I don't really want to talk about it.
About the Mounties or the Queen? You
No, the Queen.
don't like the Queen because you're a Morrissey fan.
I don't love the Queen, but
Tell us about Morrissey.
I don't hate the Queen
Don't.
much as Morrissey.
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
He hates the royal family.
And I understand his position. Part of it for me is the pageantry and the history. I'm a big history buff, and I think it would be
Full
a
of
shame.
rich
Do
history.
you like buy the commemorative plates and stuff?
Yeah, it's. I mean, the idea that like these people are rich so they have some sort of say, it makes no fucking sense. But apparently, even though you fought an entire war to get away from it, you've gone back to it. So
Do they constantly have that Elton John song on repeat?
which one?
Seems to me you live that song.
No,
Candle in the Wind.
Candle in the wind.
no. Most people had pretty much forgot about her.
Oh, all right.
Never knowing who to cling to.
That is not Elton John. That was Aaron Neville.
Discovering my when Nev was a kid, I bought her this like toy set. It was like some kind of, it was called something Little People, not like our
LPs, not like left cheek and right cheek.
not left things right. It was like a toy thing, and it came with like a DVD, and there was like a cartoon thing, but not cartoon. It was like actual like plastic pieces or something. I don't know, almost like claymation, but with like plastic. I don't know, but Aaron Neville did this theme song, and it was
Nice.
hysterical. He's like, discovering Michael, discovering ye, discovering ye. I don't know the words. And discovering me.
I love that. You don't know the words, but the memory is singed into
Yeah,
your
the
brain.
melody I remember.
If I ever win the lottery, I want Michael McDonald to just follow me around and just sing out like my what I do during the day.
Who is he from? See, here's the thing that keeps happening to me all the time. I grew up with these guys who were in bands, but by the time I heard of them when I was like 6 or 7, they had already left the band and gone solo. So like, I didn't know that Peter Gabriel was in Genesis until like 5 years ago. I had no
What?
idea. I thought Peter Gabriel
That's a long
was
time.
Peter Gabriel.
Yeah,
I thought his storied solo career
Well, like
was
Peter
his
Cetera
entire
was in
the
Chicago,
entire,
right?
Right. This is what I'm saying. I learned that recently. Michael McDonald was in a band.
Yeah, I don't remember
Which band?
I don't remember what band Michael McDonald was in.
Chicago, maybe?
Yeah,
Look it up. Dave's
but
on it.
I did know
Dave.
the Genesis thing.
Produce.
Produce information to us right now.
I
can go fuck
remember
yourself.
the Genesis thing from I Can't Dance.
I can't
Yeah, but
dance.
Peter Gabriel wasn't in that.
No, I know, but for some reason when I was a kid, I remember that. I
That
remember.
was Phil Collins.
I know who was also in Genesis.
He also played drums for Jethro Tull on the tour.
Oh, Michael McDonald was in the Doobie Brothers and Steely
There you
Dan.
Doobie Brothers.
He was in Steely
Dan.
Dan? Shit. Didn't the Steely Dan
There's
member
some
just
more
die
hate mail.
last week?
Yeah, I think so.
One
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Let's make a bet. We get more hate mail about
Here's
the
trivia.
Do we get more hate mail about the Michael McDonald stuff about not knowing that, or the Transformers stuff?
Do you guys know
I
what?
bet we get
Are you gonna ask
zero.
the same question?
Yeah, I don't think anybody responds to anything.
You ask it, I'll answer it.
Do you know where Steely Dan got their name?
Yes.
Answer it.
Is a dildo.
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
I was just going to leave it at yes. The band? No.
I saw them 5 or 6 years ago. They were freaking awesome. Just sonically, like the music they were great.
It was Steely Dan and who? Who was the other band? Doobie Brothers? Oh, okay.
Doobie Brothers and the Dukes of September.
No, but see,
Oh,
now
that
if you
one's
think
worse.
about the Doobie Brothers, that's definitely Michael McDonald for sure.
I can't pick
yeah,
out a Michael
you're-
McDonald song
right.
if I wanted to.
No, but I mean, just because Michael McDonald has a
Isn't
very
bit by bit Michael McDonald?
he's got a very distinct.
He's got like really white hair, right?
yeah, and yeah. Michael McDonald. Like sometimes I like when I'm driving up your long driveway, I'm like, I wonder what we're going to talk about tonight. Michael McDonald never crossed my fucking mind.
You know what I've been thinking about all week is how September 11th was an inside job.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god!
Well, it was the anniversary.
I actually
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Hashtag buildings oven.
I actually
Smoking gun.
so I crossed into Buffalo on Monday. And it's a really long drive from Toronto. It's about a 10-hour drive from door to door. So I get up early. Like I got up at 5:30 in the morning, and I hit the border by like probably 6:45, 7 o'clock. Normally it takes a really long time to get across the border. There's tons of people in line, especially on a weekday, because there's people that like live close to the border and work in the US. So it's like a line to get in. When I got to the border, there was nobody there. It was one of the fastest rips from Toronto to Connecticut I've ever done. And I was talking.
Oh, you actually went on Monday?
Yeah. And I was talking to a friend of mine. And she was like, how was it? And I was like, oh, it's fine. Like it was actually literally when I got to the border, there was nobody there. I was the first car in line. That's never happened to me before ever. And then like 3 hours later, once I had gotten home and unpacked and settled, I realized it was September 11th. I didn't even know. So I have a feeling people try to stay away from the border on that day. And I was just like flying through it. Like it was like nothing. I didn't even notice. But
Yeah, maybe.
no
Yeah,
more.
so this week, back to your question earlier, I watched a lot of documentaries on YouTube.
That is the best place to find your
my father.
documentaries.
What question are you talking about?
What I did this week. I did that.
When he totally avoided the question
I
because
avoided
it was
it.
all
I
conspiracy
avoided
shit.
it. And he said he's going to circle back.
I did. And I did. Yeah, it's something I'm sort of passionate about, actually. And we have said that nothing's off limits
No,
to
go
discuss
ahead.
here.
Go ahead.
And like I've said in the past too, I consider myself a very rational person, which I think most of my friends would agree with.
I honestly would on every topic except for
Except
this.
this. No, I just think, and we don't have to hang out on this too long because I know it's a very touchy subject for a lot of people. But if you look at the evidence with just your eyes and you look at the actual footage of that day, my point in all of it is we're being lied to about something. I'm not saying I know what happened. I'm just saying I know they're lying about at least a few things.
I think we all can agree on that.
Buildings don't fall straight down, and I'm not talking about the towers. I'm talking about Building 7, which Paulo mentioned before. That later that day, if you haven't noticed, the third building fell in the World Trade Center complex. That was Building 7, like after 4 o'clock, close to 5 p.m. that day. BBC reported 20 minutes before it fell that it had fallen as it was standing over the anchor's shoulder.
Yeah, but
which was
that's because
interesting.
they're hours behind.
No, they were live. So that
Yeah,
doesn't work.
but it's
They're
10
actually
o'clock
hours.
there.
They're
To them, they're looking at,
Five.
they're looking at their watch and they're like, oh,
It was just
but
4 o'clock
24-hour
here.
news doesn't change that.
It was 4 o'clock here. It's like 9 o'clock there.
Yeah, no, but,
So that shit
but the building
happened
was,
already.
it's just things like that it's like, there's
They were
something,
just like, fam, this happened like 5 hours
there was
ago.
knowledge of something. Call it Pearl Harbor if you want, which we knew about, like that was going to happen back in the day.
And why did you know about that?
Why do I know about Pearl Harbor?
Why did America know about it?
I'm not sure, actually.
Canada told you.
Such our friendly neighbor to the north.
Guess why you knew about 9/11 before it happened too?
Canada.
Canada fucking told you.
Well, they knew, had reports that terrorists were going to try to use planes. They knew it, like, it's all like knowledge, like available as far as it's out there. All you got to do is look. I didn't mean to bring it down. But this was the week.
That silence right there. That silence right there. Look for that when you edit that
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of the podcast.
Yeah, 16
I
years
definitely-
later, it's just something that everyone kind of glazes over, and
Nobody's glazing over the fact that fucking 2,000 people lost their lives.
almost three actually.
Yeah. Nobody's glazing over that fact. It's just
Planes.
Here's the fact of the matter.
Monster49@gmail.com.
I 100% agree with you that we are being lied to, and we will and always have been lied to about every single national event in the history of America, and will continue to be so. There's a lot of reasons for that, and they don't necessarily have anything to do with collusion or government plans to kill their own people.
Yeah. Disagree.
I think
Well, they don't necessarily, but I think this one was exactly that in certain ways.
there's like a tough line there, man. Because I see where you're coming from with all the conspiracy theory stuff.
I'm just saying, ask questions.
No, I know, but I think it'll be hard. Something that's hard to define or to find answers on. because I think like the person that's pulling the strings, I don't think is as influential of a person as you might like. Isn't as high up on that like.
So
who are you saying? I
The-
think is pulling the strings.
Well, I think if anybody was going to pay for something to happen, it would probably be in the interest of some sort of corporation, and not like some crazy dictator or like megalo.
Ooh, what am I drinking?
Megatron.
Maniac.
It's a Transformers, isn't it?
multi-trillionaire or something. What is crazy though?
The World Trade Center was two enormous
It's funny.
Decepticons.
It's funny because it's uncomfortable right now, I think, in this room to talk about it. And that's generally how the topic is.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing to me in general about how uncomfortable it is to discuss it with people.
It's not uncomfortable. It's just
Well, people think you're crazy if you question the
obviously
official
Yeah.
story. People
Yeah.
think no. So people think you're crazy if you question the official story. If you say, "Wait a minute, I've seen controlled demolitions before, and that's exactly what I just watched on TV." If you watch the footage that day, everyone is saying it. All the news anchors, everyone says it. Donald Trump says it. He wasn't president back then.
Don't give him a shot.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you said
God
it.
damn it!
the best thing
was
that
good.
happened in this conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, why do you get so upset about that? Why can't you talk about it? Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Where was the plane in the ground? There was no fucking debris. There was just a smoking hole in the ground. Every time a plane crashes, anytime a commercial plane crashes, they take all the debris and they reconstruct it in a hangar. Didn't happen for any of those planes on that day. It was all evidence of crimes.
I mean, at least two of them were
My
Oh, yeah, two of them were
completely
incinerated.
incinerated.
And you
Bullshit.
watched two of them run into.
They're
a
not
tower.
incinerated. First of all, that doesn't happen.
But I mean, you saw it go into the tower.
well, you did, yeah.
And then you
of
saw
course.
whatever
No,
was
those were
at the top
holograms.
of those
Those-
towers.
All right.
Fall
That was a joke on my part.
Listen, I didn't
That
know
was
if
a
you were
joke.
going to throw some CGI stuff at me.
Dude, there's
it was
people that-
2001. I'm just saying.
I know there's people that say that, which is
Watch
ridiculous.
Kong. That was like 2000. CGI was terrible. Let's not.
Well,
Can I have a shot glass so I don't have to do
You know I don't like
Yeah.
the beer part. No, just fucking swig it.
I could.
Oh,
I had a maple leaf on it for a second.
hey, guess what I did at the wedding?
What's that?
Threw up.
Yeah, buddy. What were you drinking?
Fucking Jaeger.
Yes, that will do it. Just Jaeger?
I never throw up.
Usually you got to mix it with something.
No, well,
Ugh.
last year about this time, actually, like a couple days ago, a year ago, our cousin died, and the cousin that was getting married, it was his brother, and his drink was Jaeger. So we went through a lot of it at the wedding.
That's a horrible thing to do.
Drunkest I've ever been was Jaeger. Brown stock.
Oh yeah,
When I just
Oh, you guys
completely-
always had a machine. Like,
yeah.
dude, when your
It
uncle
was
showed up,
it was
with
Doug. It was
two-
all Doug's fault.
Yeah, but what's that? What is this size? When your uncle when Hank showed
2
up with
gallons?
two of these two gallon Jaeger bottles, and we drank them both.
But no,
I'm talking
the
about.
one that I was talking about, that was all Doug's fault.
Who's Doug? Let's do a prequel of who Doug might be.
Doug Henry. We're actually going to have him on soon. He is a friend of mine.
He also happens to be a legendary motocross world champion.
Yeah, but I think most people listening aren't going to realize that or care.
Most people
but
listening,
no, we're
most
having-
people listening care less that he's your friend.
No, we're having him in because he's trying to start his own brewery, and he has a farm up in Torrington that he wants to grow some hops on.
I've
and
been
shit
there.
like that. Yes,
shout out to
Jay's actually
Torrington.
been.
I've actually done some like consulting work.
Yeah. So we're gonna have him in a few weeks after he has his meeting with the town of Torrington to see if his brewery is actually gonna happen.
Spoiler alert.
No, that's called a promo.
Well, not if it was supposed to be a surprise. Hey, Paulo.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100 to turn the air conditioning on.
It's so sweaty. My balls are so sweaty.
Is it hot?
It's so
If you
hot.
Botox them, they won't be so sweaty.
Hold on.
You can do it from your phone.
He's gonna text his wife.
So yeah, I got one of the ever since I got married, I got one of
Paul's
those
just like,
smart
yeah,
homes.
you guys aren't paying my bills, so fuck off.
No, I know I have a Nest upstairs, so I could adjust the temperature for my phone.
Nice.
This
Oh,
is
we are.
the best descriptions you could find of these beers.
I took everything from the website, like of the brewery.
Oh, that's awful. That's their description trying to sell their own beer.
I mean, the first one was pretty good. It had beaver slapping you.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
This
I was
one's
like, I usually don't read these, but this one's worth it.
This one's called Waterloo Dark, and this is another dark beer, obviously, because it's called Dark.
That's literally the name.
Yep, it's made with 4 simple ingredients, and it's made in Kitchener, Ontario, which is about 2 hours or so outside of Toronto. Actually, interesting tidbit. Kitchener, Ontario is where I saw Metallica for the first time when I was 11.
Oh, so when they were good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who brought you to that show?
My mom, and she dropped me off with my friends and then picked me up later.
Really?
Yeah.
Canada's,
Your mom, I love your mom. Your mom
Canada's
loves-
so safe.
Yes, it definitely is. Well, I mean, there's some neighborhoods in Toronto you might not want to get caught in after dark. And I got caught in one after dark recently. Not this trip, but my last trip. I don't know if you guys have seen Kenny versus Spenny.
You should tell Waterloo to brew a beer called After Dark.
It's your post dark, your dessert beer.
If anyone from Waterloo is listening, just give us some shout outs on that one.
There's a show in Canada called Kenny versus Spenny, and it was on Comedy Central here for a while. It's a really funny show where like these two guys are roommates and they just like play pranks on each other. Basically, there's like rules where it's like who can go the longest without peeing, and then like one of them will really try to do it, and then the other one will just try to fuck with that guy, like stuff like that. So their house, like it all takes place in a house, and the house is about 10 blocks away from my sister. So last time I was there, I was like, oh shit, the Kenny versus Spenny house is here. I'm going to go check it out. And turns out you shouldn't go there at 10 o'clock at night because it's a really shitty neighborhood.
Oh, good.
But I lived.
Nice.
All right, good. So this is the Waterloo Dark. I really like that can. It's simple and
very
fucking
clean.
awesome. Yeah.
It feel it actually. It's like a matte.
I
Is it
feel
matte
it.
finish?
I wanted to
Yeah,
feel it.
that's really cool.
It's got a boar head on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5% alcohol by volume.
It's just a gray, like a matte gray.
yeah,
paint.
it's a
Beer
cool can.
premium. They write it almost like French beer.
Very simple, minimalistic design on there.
Again,
in the can.
again, it is very good. This actually might be my number 2 behind the Blacklist. And I wish I had some Blacklist left to compare it to because I think it might be just as good. It might even be better.
Well, there's not much of a description of the beer as far as the brewery's write up, but they do say it's Ontario's favorite dark lager.
Well, that's a little pretentious.
I mean, Sam Adams, well, cut that out.
I feel it's a shame that there's no breweries in Toronto that haven't made like a high caffeine coffee stout and called it like the Rob Ford stout.
His brother's getting into politics now, actually. Yeah, for those that don't know, one of the most famous things that Toronto has produced besides me and Alanis Morissette.
He's Canadian? I didn't know that.
Yes, you
Yeah. Isn't Justin Bieber from
I think I did.
Toronto?
Justin Bieber's from Toronto. Mike Myers is from Toronto.
Did you see his whole thing with
Jim
Marilyn
Carrey's
Manson?
from Toronto. Yeah, I did. That was actually pretty funny. Did you see that?
Who?
Bieber's been wearing a Manson shirt on stage, and
But it's a different design. Like it has Bieber's
well,
name
it's
or
Manson.
something on
It's
it.
a Manson shirt, but it's got Bieber. It says Bieber on the
Yeah.
back, like a baseball jersey or
Right.
something. So Manson ran into him at a bar, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And Bieber says to him, "Oh yeah." He's like, "You're welcome for making you relevant again." You don't say shit like that to
Manson was like, I think at the end
Manson's
of the conversation, he's like, boy, you're dick height to me. Step down.
The thing is, you can say what you want about like his music and stuff, but Manson's actually a fucking genius, and like he will destroy people like Justin Bieber for saying shit like that. So he basically ripped
Paulo's eyebrows just raised on that comment.
he basically ripped him a new asshole. But
Probably literally.
yeah, there's a lot of famous people from Toronto actually. The Second City TV show, so all those guys, John Candy and Joe Flaherty and Eugene Levy.
It's funny how all that takes a back seat when your mayor does crack.
and a crack smoking mayor. I mean, he joins the ranks of David Dinkins and some very famous American crack smoking mayors too. This one's good though. I like this.
I do. I don't like it as much as the Blacklist.
You think
but
Blacklist
I do.
is still number one?
But then
I
again,
definitely
I'm
like
not.
the Blacklist better.
Blacklist holding strong.
I'm not exactly a connoisseur of the darker beers, but yeah, I do like the Blacklist a little bit better. I think.
Speaking of
So Waterloo, make an After Dark, and we'll try that one.
Speaking of darker beers, my sister recently asked me what it is that I like in a woman, and
You like it in the can.
Monster49@gmail.com.
I realized that shout out to our first episode where we come into Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe, where they say never trust a big butt and a smile.
No.
That's really exactly what I'm looking for in a woman.
A big butt and a smile?
Yeah.
Can't trust it.
Big
Can't
butt
trust it.
and a nice smile. Well, that's why I've been in turmoil.
I always turn more to LL Cool J for dating advice. I was always a fan of a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, a Fendi bag, and a bad attitude. That's what I like to get me in a good mood.
Fendi bag and a bad attitude. I mean, those things aren't mutually exclusive. You could have a big butt and a smile
Well, and she has
and
to,
a bad attitude.
and she
and a
has to
Fendi bag.
walk with a strut and talk in street slang. You know,
I mean,
good
I
when
don't know. If I
it's good when a woman ain't afraid to do her thing.
think there's only one person I'm going to relationship advice for.
Is it time?
I think it is time.
Sip that tea, motherfucker.
We got a bunch of Canadian beer here, but we're gonna take some time to sip some tea with you guys.
I think we should change the segment to the emote Wonderwall that he was doing. That was pretty.
All right,
fun.
so Triple X,
fill me in.
In the news again.
Triple X in the news. His new album came out. We're
Yo, who's his press agent, by the way? We need to hire them because this guy's in the news every single week. We've never struggled to find a sip and tea segment.
you know what I
Well, now that we're figuring out the phone call thing too, we're gonna get him on.
Yeah.
you know what I like. We're not gonna be able to understand a word he says.
What are you talking about? He sings like an emo kid.
Yeah. Well, if you've seen where he's just talking, he's.
I haven't actually.
I mean, no. He
Well, I
can
heard
be-
that track when
can
he was
be
like,
articulate.
"This is my mind."
Anyway, last episode, you did say that you actually think he's a true artist.
Yeah, I do.
I think I agree with you.
No, I definitely think.
Well, his
As
last
far as
video is
artists
definitely.
go. So his new album came out. It's very different. It's not as aggressive as this song at all. The entire album. It's very
I'm gonna fade that guy.
low key. Paulo hates it, but
But that is also part of being an artist is not being afraid to scrap the blueprint and reinvent.
Well, exactly. You
true.
don't exactly want to conform if you're an artist. So
but
Except for Metallica, they can fuck themselves.
back to Metallica. We just so he released a new video, which is it's weird because his song "Look at Me" is not on his new album. It's from a previous album, I believe. It's definitely not on his new album, but you can find the video online, and we might post a link. We should.
it'll be in the post show blog.
Yeah, but
We have a post-show blog.
if you watch the video, it's
Welcome to the fucking show.
It's like 2 songs.
Yeah, I'm talented. I don't
It's
have
like
to
2
do that.
parts of 2 music videos in one / just commentary. And it cuts to this stage show where he's in front of a crowd in a theater where he has like a small
like a
black
play.
boy and a small white child. I don't know why the blackest boy and the whitest child that sounded oddly racist, but
You just wanted to say boy.
But he puts a noose around the little white kid's neck and then just hoists him up and hangs. And you see the kid's feet twitch, and then he dies. He hangs the little white kid, and he is coming.
and
out a
Fox
lot.
News is all over it.
Yeah.
Exploding.
So wait. So I missed part of it. Triple X hangs the white kid, or the black kid?
He
hangs the
actually
white kid?
pulls the rope
But he doesn't hang the black kid.
in front of the black kid
But it's on a stage in like a play setting.
in a play setting. Yeah, in
Yeah.
front of like a
Is the
auditorium of people.
Is the black kid in the audience or
No,
on the
he's
stage?
on.
No,
stage
he's on stage
He's like
watching
holding
it
their
happen.
both hands, and then he like puts the noose around the white kid's head.
What is the What's this?
Well, then it cuts
symbology?
to
Like,
him
what's it
like
supposed to mean?
literally just talking and like reading something he's written like on his phone, like just reading off his phone about.
But it's basically like he basically did it knowing all you white people are gonna freak the fuck out because I'm hanging a white kid. But if this was reversed, it would just be another fucking day.
And that's what people are freaking out. I'm going to boycott this company. I'm going to boycott this until they take it off their site. Like, I don't want it on there. Dude, Game of Thrones, they hang a kid in the television show, and no one's freaking out about that. So
Here's
for
the
me,
thing. I'm
like, it's fine. It is artistry.
I'm not
He's trying to do something in an artistic way.
I'm not saying
very
it's not
provocative.
I'm not saying it's not fine. I'm not saying it's not provocative. But what I am going to say is, like you said on Game of Thrones, they hang a kid and nobody cared because it was white people hanging a white kid. I think that he's naive if he thinks that the only reason they care is because he's hanging a white kid. It's because he's a black guy hanging.
Well, no, that's exactly it.
Right.
He's saying because it's
well at the beginning of the
reverse
video as well.
role.
He is hanging. They're like it's him and like 5 other black guys just hanging dead from a tree, and then all of a sudden like he like his eyes open and he's rapping like while he's hanging.
That's pretty fucking baller, actually. That sounds amazing.
It was pretty cool.
That sounds cool as shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like something fucking like Rob Zombie would have done 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it changes. It's weird. It's definitely a weird music video. It's not one song. It's like it's like parts of different things.
I think he's pretty awesome. And honestly, like no matter what,
He's young. He's 19.
he's very young.
He's only
And I think-
19.
yeah.
I think for his age, I think he's really pushing the envelope, and I think it's badass. I think it's punk rock as fuck. I think it's really cool, and I think I've seen enough from him now that I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt to explain. If somebody's upset by something, I want to hear what he has.
Well,
to
his
say.
whole dialogue is about love and hate and just
This,
social things that are going on. And
I get it. I get like the social stance and everything. And this would all be cool if Public Enemy didn't do this like 30 years ago.
they hung a white kid?
But I think that's the problem.
No, it's just you keep on working in circles. It's the
But-
same message you
yes,
got 30 years ago.
But the message in that it's been repeated is, hey, why has nothing changed yet?
No. I understand that. But if the only way for you to get people's attention is by continuously bringing up the fact.
Listen, we've been talking about sipping tea for fucking months before any of this happened.
No, I'm just talking about that one.
So,
That one subject in and of itself.
Right, but I think he was pretty
I just feel like there's like another level of criticism we can get to.
if 4 white guys,
But you know
in
what? It
Connecticut
got
know about him.
all the white people talking. So
No, I know it
did his
always
job.
because it always will.
Did you hear that about the biracial 8-year-old who was just like
Who was
fucking
actually hung?
like off a
What?
picnic table
Yeah.
or something with a
Yeah.
rope around his neck?
But still, it's disgusting.
Like teenagers took this kid and threw him off a picnic table with a rope around his neck, and he has like all this shit. It's fucked up.
Like,
were they-
and shit.
Were they misguidedly thinking it was like funny, or were they actually trying to kill him?
Well, they didn't kill him. I'm not really sure what their intention was, but
I mean, it's fucked up.
It was
Way.
definitely a hate crime.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
their intention was.
Well, but, I mean, I'm not defending it in any way, but hate crime implies a nefarious bias.
Yeah,
if they were
to be
just
honest, I'm not
idiots,
sure. They're
then
definitely
that's
idiots.
not a hate crime.
What their intention?
They're definitely idiots one way
Yeah.
or the other, but that doesn't make it a hate crime.
Yeah, the motive
It's-
makes it a hate crime.
Yeah,
Right.
So-
it's
But I'm
like-
saying that's why I'm asking what the motive was. I've never heard this story until you
Do you
said
know
it.
what
The way
think of-
the
when I
articles
see shit
portray
like
it is
that,
that it's because he was biracial.
Well, then
When I
that's
see
more
shit like
fucked up.
that, I just think of dogs. Like, you know when dogs fuck each other just so like yeah, I'm bigger than you. Check it out, I'm fucking you. See that? Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, that's what I think about. I'm just saying, like, that's what I think about when people like when shit like that happens. Like when you get somebody from one aisle that
Do that in post.
does do in post. When you get people from one aisle that do shit like that, and then you get somebody who rebuts with an equally ludicrous argument. It's like a pissing match.
I have no fucking idea what you're saying. Right
Yeah,
now. I lost you
I'm
so
trying-
long ago.
I'm trying.
I have no idea either. I'm trying to like. I'm just glad it's not me.
Well, you got to think about it this way: if he is 19, he is a new generation.
Is he really 19, or did we just say that?
No, he is.
He
He's
is
young.
right? He's young.
So he is a younger generation that's now confronted and dealing with these things as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to do what they do, and it's going to be everything's repeated.
I get it.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, instead of continuously reincarnating, all right, like Spider-Man, right? Wouldn't you rather watch a new Spider-Man movie instead of them just continuously rebooting
A new Spider-Man movie
or
is
Superman?
the definition of rebooting the last Spider-Man movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
no.
Wouldn't you like Batman? Wouldn't you want to watch a new
saying a new
Batman
story.
movie instead of them continuously rebooting the story? Like,
You mean stop telling the origin story?
yeah.
But here's the thing.
It just keeps on coming up over. But yeah, this is the origin story, but this is more like this is more of a rugged origin story, as the old story wasn't as, it was more cartoonish, and this is more realistic.
It's a false equivalency.
It's the same thing. You need to take. I agree with the message 100%. I agree with what people are like the argument people are trying to get out there. What I'm saying is, instead of continuously rebooting the argument, you should catalog what's out there already, what the argument that's been made already, and add to it. I'm not saying that's
what he's doing. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing.
He's not.
He is. He's
not.
adding to it.
I don't think we've ever seen a music video where they've hung a small white child.
No, they're out there. They're out there. I
out
can
there?
guarantee.
Yeah, they're called snuff films.
No, I'm
Like Ice Cube didn't hang a fucking white kid. Like,
sure at some point in time you can go back and find a Public Enemy video, something where they've
listen, I
reversed the
have a
role.
time machine in front of me.
Yeah, boy.
I think there's actually a Public Enemy video where a black slave whips the white slave owner,
Right, but here's the difference.
which is essentially the same argument you're making.
But here's the difference. When you're
Well, yeah, the same argument you're making is this is
Lame.
fucked up.
It's
Stop
lame.
doing it.
right, when
And
you
I
make
think-
when you
and I
make
think
when you
it's
make
so
Batman
same, it's lame.
when you
We
make
call that
Batman 12
lame.
times, when you make Batman 12 times, you're retelling a story.
Everybody
When
knows.
you're
Everybody
Public
knows it.
Enemy,
That's the
but
problem.
when you're
Everybody
Public
knows
Enemy
it.
and you're
The
saying
people-
this needs to stop,
Yeah.
and then 30 years later it hasn't stopped, and a young
I
black
understand.
kid comes up and says this still hasn't fucking stopped.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the same story. That's not the same thing as like, hey, remember that time we told the story about Batman?
Yeah.
Here's what happened again. In
You're
case
proving my
a new
argument.
generation didn't
You're
hear.
proving my argument. 'Cause
No, it's not the same thing.
Because it is. It's
It's not the
exactly
same thing.
It's exactly the same
It's
thing.
not the same thing.
It is. Let me finish. Because the people that you are the people you're trying to draw attention from by doing something like that are the same. Those people know the difference between right and wrong. I believe everybody knows the difference between right and wrong in that situation at this point in time.
I don't believe that. That's
Everybody knows.
true. I believe that there was an entire protest in Virginia that
Let me finish.
just proves that.
Let me finish. I believe everybody knows in their heart of hearts what's right and what's wrong about that. The problem is
That I actually will agree with. I believe that
There are
the
people
racist
out there
motherfuckers know
that-
that it's wrong. And
there's
it's
people
not
out there that
acceptable.
don't
Why
want
were
to
they doing it
accept
then?
it. They don't want to accept it because if you
Well,
accept
they
that,
believe themselves to be righteous. That's why they do it.
Exactly. What I'm saying is,
But that's
those people are the people that you're trying to. Those people are the people that you're trying to target by doing shit like that. What you need to understand is those people. It doesn't matter how many white kids you hang in a video. The realization that you're trying to get through to them in that video, you will never get through to them.
I disagree.
'Cause all
I
they
disagree
say-
with the premise.
All right, let me finish. All they see in that video-
all I know is you need to grow that beard out a little bit more. Because,
All they see in that
because
video-
you're rubbing up on this windscreen, and I just hear it in my headphones, and it's
Sorry.
really distracting.
I disagree with the premise.
All those people see in that video, they don't have that eureka moment. All they see is, oh, they're hanging white kids, they're hanging kids on rap videos now. What's wrong with people these days? They're fucking hanging people on rap videos. That's
Right.
what rap music is. They're hanging white kids left and right.
But it's starting a conversation.
But no,
It doesn't matter.
I
It
don't
doesn't start a
I think
conversation 'cause
I
that
think your
person turns
premise
it
is
off.
wrong. I think you have the premise wrong. The premise isn't that they're trying to talk to those people. They're trying to talk to people that already agree and haven't been incited to action yet. So they're preaching to the choir
Yeah.
in order to incite action out of the choir. The people that are in power, not the people that are already like burning fucking torches and hitting people with their
it's not
cars.
even-
torches in particular.
You know, like
You know
hitting
what's
people
funny?
with their
It's not-
cars.
Mosquitoes are a
they're
bitch,
trying,
man.
They're trying to awaken the masses
Yeah.
because let's be honest, the majority of the population agrees with the good guys.
I just don't understand why we couldn't have
Yeah.
this
But
impassioned
the
conversation
majority-
about 9/11.
But the majority of the population is also doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to awaken that part of the population in order to go out. And
I think
do
we
something.
should invite him on our
I
podcast
want to fucking talk to him, like
and have
really.
his.
We say
give
that
his
every week.
opinion.
I think we should do it over the phone
Well, that's probably the easiest route.
because this is my basement.
And I
in
did
Florida.
figure out how to do that, so we can.
Unfortunately, he's also in part of like a really bad domestic violence thing.
Wait, what?
He like apparently
Play the song again. We're doing Sippin' Tea Part 2. What the fuck is up? What are you talking
which
about?
is unfortunate because who knows what the truth is, but he has been accused by a former girlfriend of choking and headbutting and much more abuse.
Monster49
In relation-
gmail.com. Wait,
in a
they like
relationship.
that.
Sodomy is so much better as a salutation. And
He actually has to go to court for this thing, and he may go to jail.
He's fucking
depending on-
19. How many ex-girlfriends could he?
Well, you only need one.
One is all you need.
So, I mean, for his sake, man, I hope it's not true. I hope he didn't do that to a woman. If he did, he deserves it. But
Well, stay tuned for future episodes of Sip and Tea, and we'll follow that story very closely. I'm very interested to see.
I'm gonna reach out and see what we can do.
Tell him we have.
that was good.
Tell him we have a whole 300 people that will hear his thoughts and.
No, there's probably like 60 people,
You know,
but they've downloaded it 300 times.
XXX,
they're loyal.
Triple X, you got 4 white guys talking about you here in Connecticut.
And at least 50%
In
of
suburbia,
them
Connecticut.
think you're a genius.
But hey, there's not. I'm not saying
25%
anything negative.
are all right with
Just-
you, and 25% just fucking.
I'm just saying, just Spotify, Public Enemy, and then just fill in the blanks afterwards. That's
Paulo,
what
you're just dating yourself. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
old, brother.
I don't understand these new rock and rollers with their long hairs.
I cheered for OJ, for fucking Christ's sake. Okay. Before anybody tries to draw any
Well, if you look at Dave Chappelle's new stand-up, he goes, that did that shit.
Yeah, you say it.
I'm not saying it. Don't make me say it. He finishes like his whole thing with like that N-word did that shit.
Oh no, he did. He did. I was in 8th grade, and I know he
And why
did.
were you cheering?
Because man, like the black guy never gets off, and he did.
Monster49@gmail.com. Wait, why is that? That has nothing to do with sexy.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
what I'm saying
black
is,
guys getting off.
That is. Oh, there you
I
go.
see, he was on.
Dave, can I have a beer?
Yeah, no,
I'll take a Sam Oktoberfest. Change it up.
I agree that black guys should get off, but I would prefer it was one that actually didn't do the
No,
thing.
I
that
know,
he
I
was.
know.
You like it in the can.
I was
Yeah.
I was 12, dude. on an opposite coast of the country. There's thousands of miles between me and that murderer.
You listen.
All right.
Who knows what the story is with
the juice.
with XXX?
Juice loose.
If he is guilty of doing that or not. If he's not guilty of it and he's being falsely accused, I hope he gets off.
Listen, get him in a room with me, and I'll get to the fucking bottom of this.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like that would not be what would happen.
No, I'll fucking get it out of him.
Hey, you know, do the crime, do the time. If you did it, brother, I'm sorry. Just deal with it. Deal with the consequences. But
Or just and don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
really-
you know, like don't hit women. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's not cool. Don't do that.
It's not.
Yeah, let's all go on record and endorse the non-violence
Yeah,
of women.
definitely.
Unless
no Public Enemy songs about
Is that a
being
controversial opinion?
Unless they like it.
Yeah, some of them like it.
Yeah, I still remember Chuck D saying you can hit chicks as long as they like it. Yeah.
You're obsessed with Public Enemy.
I know.
I was growing up. I like
Your Public Enemy's number one?
fan. No,
No.
So
that
I
didn't
guess
work
so I
the way
guess
wanted it to.
I like Anthrax a lot. They did a bunch of songs with Public Enemy.
they did the one song,
They did two
songs, one song.
I'm the Man and Bring
Bring
the
the
Noise.
noise. Yeah.
I'm the man with the master plan.
so. Speaking of white Republicans,
Where were we? Uh-oh. This is going to be my favorite adult ever.
Education.
Oh, I said situation. I'm stupid.
yeah.
It is a situation. For Ted Cruz, it is. It is quite the situation.
Ted Cruz's face always looks like his dog's about to get run over.
He literally looks like a North Pole elf. I didn't like him. I've never liked him. I'm glad he was not involved in the actual final, whatever you call that thing that happened, presidential election.
The election, yeah.
So what
Was
exactly?
he a finalist?
Not that any of the other two were better, but
So he got into some trouble this week with some pornography. What exactly happened? I think I have a handle on it, but somebody probably has more.
so
information than
he liked his official Twitter page, liked an official tweet from an official porn website, and it was an
Sounds
incest
official.
porn video that
Yeah.
his official page liked.
Which, listen, it's not a big deal. Everybody,
We all know that these white Republicans love that shit.
come on, between you, everybody here, between you and me, everybody watches porn at some point in time in their life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right,
I'm watching porn right now.
The problem
Is that why
with
you have
this,
2 computers this week?
the problem with this case in particular is that, just to give you a little background, Ted Cruz years ago tried to pass a law that would actually make it illegal to masturbate. If you got caught masturbating, it would actually, I think it was a 10 years prison sentence or something.
In
like that.
public?
No, just period.
Just like if someone like walked by your
If somebody
window
could
and you
prove
were
that you were,
masturbating in your house.
yeah.
I've been worried about that at
Yeah,
times.
which is hilarious because when the
My masturbatorium's on the 2nd floor, so I don't have to worry about it.
I live on the 2nd floor, so
when
feel generally
news
safe.
of that law came out, his college roommate spoke up and said that
He jerked it all the time.
often. He actually made a comment. I don't know if you look it up. He made a comment about, just imagine this 4 feet over your head in a college bunk bed, because I guess he used to just go at it while his roommate was there.
probably.
Which I guess you're desperate.
Oh, that didn't sound right.
But wait, so
He was shooting cruise missiles all over the place, if you know what I'm saying.
So the implication is that he follows a porn star on Twitter.
Or somebody who controls
Well,
his.
their response,
Accidentally.
their official
liked
response was that it was a staffing situation.
Yeah.
So like someone on his staff
was bored enough to
basically
watch porn.
thought
during the
that
day.
they were on their own Twitter page and liked something, but liked it off his official thing.
Listen,
Which,
that
honestly,
can happen.
could-
I've done
yeah.
that on the heavy drinking Instagram before, where I liked something that I meant to like as myself. Actually, it was today.
I've posted shit
You-
to that
so-
I thought I was on my personal.
You posted a picture from in here, and
Yeah.
I thought that I was on my personal account and hashtagged Alf, but I was on heavy drinking.
Yeah, I saw that.
Listen, I'm just saying, I don't like to judge people, but that motherfucker is a plastic elf.
Judges people.
And
that motherfucker judges people.
he probably looks.
He's a plastic elf.
He probably looks at some weird fucking porn because he's weird.
He doesn't. He watches some bland shit. Did you watch the porn that he liked?
It was incest.
Yeah, but listen.
That's on a scale of 1
I-
to fucked up. That's pretty crazy.
Well, I clicked on the news link and then
Listen, I like to
and it
filter
led
out.
me to that actual porn video was there, and I was like, oh my god, let's watch it.
Research only.
Yeah, and it was absolutely ridiculous. But it was like this mother who walked in on her daughter getting railed on the couch, and she's like, oh wait, let me take advantage of this situation and just.
I like to nullify
Rub
the
myself.
storyline.
Well, hang on. Was
completely
it?
of porn.
Yeah, because I gotta get in the storyline of this. Is it mother or is it stepmother?
Because that's all fake, anyways.
I don't know.
I
didn't-
fucking love that
didn't
adult
spend that
is
much
still
time.
playing in the background.
Yeah.
We should do more stuff with a bed.
I'm just saying, I like to nullify the storyline.
At some point, we'll be sued by Daryl
Daryl
Hall and John Oates if they can get together and be okay with each other.
Well, then, hey, at least we brought them together.
Right? We're doing things for.
You gotta be completely.
And
visual porn.
at that point, if we're that like good to get noticed by them, fucking that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll talk about porn with Hall & Oates.
Wait, what?
I'll talk about porn with Hall & Oates. They want to come down. I mean, that's the only reason we play their music.
No. We play it to talk about porn.
That's what I'm saying. So if we were big enough to have Hall & Oates here.
No,
We
we're
would-
saying if
we
we were
would
big
have-
enough on the radar for them to sue us for playing the song.
Oh no, I don't think
They're not going to come in.
Oh, I wanted to come.
they're not.
Oh no, see, I was a whole nother level ahead of you. I was stuck up enough to say that if they were to come in, they would
They
have
would
to talk.
reunite.
They would
just
have to
hang out
talk
with us
about
and talk
porn.
about
with us. Yeah, they would have no choice.
All right, I'll just go fuck myself.
Like, okay, well, let me talk about my new tour dates. No, you're gonna talk about anal. That's what we're talking about.
Are
Fuck
they
you, tour dates.
Are they like separated?
They're dead. They're still alive, right?
I don't know.
They're definitely both alive, but I was unaware that they were feuding.
How much cocaine do you think they did in the 80s?
Most of it.
Yeah. I always
They split it with the guys from Miami Vice, and then that was about 100%.
it always amazed me how suave 80s music is, considering how much cocaine was being
I fucking
done.
love 80s music. Most of the bands that I really, really love are from the 80s.
Yeah.
80s and 90s were good times for music.
I'm not a big fan of 90s music. I
Not
can't really
that
think of a lot of bands from the 90s that I love.
90s was some good shit.
Oh, there's plenty of good 90s music. It's a different genre, though. You're not getting that same type of, like Hall & Oatesy, Rick Springfield type of.
Rick Derringer.
Yeah, corniness. I didn't even like that stuff in the 80s. I was more of a fan of like Lisa and like the Jets.
Well, like the bands I like
Lisa.
Joy
EU,
Division,
remember
the
EU?
Smiths, like stuff like that. That's like
I adore you.
80s, but not the 80s you're thinking.
That was a Pauly Shore song, by the way. I don't know if you realize what I just sang. He actually had a music video and everything.
Do you remember EU?
All right, I'm looking up
Remember the
90s
butt?
greatest hits. Let's see what comes up first.
It's gonna be most R&B and like
Who poured me a beer?
stuff like that.
It's gonna be like Backstreet Boys and shit.
Yeah.
I mean like Mariah Carey.
Baby, bye, bye, bye.
This is not a
Baby.
good set from the 90s. This is like
I'm not just going to say I feel like someone should be talking like that over this.
It's like an Elvis song.
This is greatest hits of the 90s.
no. This is
One
like
more time.
See, this is you're proving my point exactly. I mean, shout outs to Connecticut resident.
yeah. Oh, funny
This isn't
story.
Michael Bolton, who I thought wrote this song.
This is Michael Bolton.
This is Michael Bolton.
This is Michael Bolton?
Yeah, he lives in Connecticut.
Yeah, he lives in Weston. Funny
That's
story.
not Michael Bolton's voice.
Oh no, it's not actually.
That's not Michael Bolton's
But
voice.
he said, but this song is. We
That's
know
his
it because of
song.
Michael Bolton.
He does this song,
That's not his song?
but I don't think so.
No,
Who is
it's not
this?
his song.
And why are we listening to it?
I don't know. It's a YouTube video.
I walked away to go to the bathroom and I came back and this song was playing.
Funny story about Michael Bolton. If you're
All right, these all suck.
Michael Bolton
See,
lives on a
that just goes to prove my point. 90s music sucked.
fun fact about Michael Bolton. He lives on a lake in
Spotify
Weston,
video.
Connecticut. And if you happen to be on the other side of that lake and you yell out, "Sing something for me, Michael Bolton," doesn't matter how many times you do it, he does not come outside. And the police do eventually show up.
Are you like working job sites and then like
Yeah.
just not doing your job?
Well, the guy who owns the house is like, "You know who owns that house over there?" I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "Right across the lake." I don't know who. He's like, "Michael Bolton." I was like, "Fuck out of here. Michael Bolton? Michael Bolton?" He's like, "Michael Bolton." So once he pulls out of his driveway,
You're like,
Michael!
I had a childhood friend
you're like
who,
skullet and chest hair, Michael Bolton?
who did like carpeting, and they said they redid his house and that he was a dick.
Hey, let's not besmirch
let's
the
not-
great
yeah.
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, really, man.
That's not shit on Michael Bolton. He might show up for the show someday.
All right,
Speaking of being pompous ass,
I have cracked. That was a fucking pretty.
We can remote
sweet
from Michael Bolton's
segue
house.
there. I've cracked yet another Canadian beer. This is another beer by the Great Lakes Brewery, which I think we established was in Toronto. Yes, it is. Queen Elizabeth Boulevard in Toronto. This one is their take on I believe, an extra special bitter English ale. It is called Pompous Ass. It does have an amazing logo on the can, and yet another reason why I chose this. Jay,
Yes,
take it
sir.
away.
You know what? I don't like the description.
just
their
give us
version-
the cliff notes.
It's our version of an English ale. We used an American ale yeast to brighten it up. Why would you do that?
Because it's their version.
Yeah, I know, but yeast is a huge part of the English style beer.
Yeah, but they're not making an English beer. They're making their version of an English beer. Don't talk shit about Total.
I'm not a fan.
Is calling somebody a hoser in Canada like a supreme insult?
No, it's actually an anachronism.
Cool. What's that?
What?
Something that nobody says. It was in a movie 35 years ago.
I still
Yeah,
say
which
it.
makes it true.
I still say
I'm
it.
going to be honest, and this might be the first beer I don't say something positive about on the podcast. I feel like they're missing the mark on the English ale.
That's interesting because I actually, when I tasted this initially, I thought that this was going to be your favorite beer that I brought, not in the world,
It's
but that I
too
brought.
clean
Yeah.
to be an English
It's
ale.
like not there.
It's too clean.
Yeah, I'm actually
You're missing those fruity esters that an English ale would bring.
I'm missing flavor.
Yeah.
See, I actually
There's
find
really no flavor.
See, I actually find it highly drinkable.
It is highly
It
drinkable.
is. It's smooth because, I mean, there's really no.
But to call it it's an American ale. It's not an English ale.
Yeah, I would say that.
So we're not a fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not really
Having
a fan
said
of
that,
this one.
Great Lakes
Sorry, Great
Brewing,
Lakes.
I know, is a very good, very, very good brewery.
But wait, take
think
the,
well,
Well, the Connect,
It
the
was a
Canuck
poor
was
decision.
really good.
I think it was a poor decision.
take the label off it and take it for what it.
No, I'm just going by taste
For
because
what?
I don't know what an English ale is supposed to taste like.
You're typically going to have some sort of fruity esters from the English yeast strains, which are a huge part of the flavor. Generally a malty profile. Even in the English IPAs are not American IPAs. They're not like bitter, super bitter to what we describe them as, in like citrusy, tropical fruity. They're very floral and herbal and spicy, if anything else.
But to clarify, are you saying that the marketing department missed the mark with the
Yes.
label on the beer and it's a good beer, or you're saying it's just a terrible?
It's a very mild English ale, American ale. That's how I would describe it. So if I was tasting it blindly, it's just a very clean American ale. Like the American yeast strain cleaned it up.
So even
It's crisp and
even as an American ale to you, it's missing
boring.
the mark.
It's boring.
All right. Well, then we still have fucking Nap, and he's fucking running away with it right now.
They are.
That
They are.
black lager was fantastic.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
just a fucking delicious beer.
Blacklist.
Yeah, and I don't like
And I
the-
think Dark
It's not like it's
Waterloo
a
Dark
gross-
is second right now.
It's not like it's a gross beer. It's just not what they
I'm
want.
actually
I think
just
it's
not a
just not
fan.
what they want it to be. I think it's just missing.
I'm actually just not a fan.
It doesn't taste bad.
Great
It
Lakes.
just doesn't have much.
We
of a
love
flavor.
you. We got love.
Yeah.
See, what's funny though is it
Yeah,
it just
the
highlights
Peninsula's
the
good.
difference between my palate and yours. And not to say that mine is more sophisticated. Yours certainly is, but at the same time, for me, somebody who likes the kind of beers that I like, which are not the same kind of beers that you like generally, as a beer in this flavor palette goes, this is one of my favorites.
Really? It's interesting that you say that.
It's because it's not beating me over the head with flavor.
It's a beer I would
I'm
finish.
getting the
because
taste,
there's not any.
but see, to me, I'm getting those flavors, but they're mild and they're handleable, and I could drink this all night.
I think that if you had a true English mild,
I've been to England and I've had English
you'd
ale.
probably like it better than this.
I'm not saying
side by side.
I'm not saying I don't like it better. I'm saying, in general, like to me, I could drink this over Sea Hag all night, and you guys think
Oh,
that
yeah.
Sea Hag is the best.
I
beer.
can
love-
see
yeah.
why you would say that as
Right.
someone who doesn't like IPAs. Of
Right.
course,
Right.
it's not like
That's-
it's disgusting. You could definitely drink it.
This is a
It
beer I
tastes-
would finish, but I wouldn't remember it.
That's a great way to put it. It's the best thing I heard you say in a while.
See, but to me, like
I'm just saying.
to me, like it's not that I don't like the flavors that that they're associated with. It's that I don't like the intensity of them. Like part of my problem with IPAs is when you get like a really, really hoppy flavors, it gives me heartburn.
Kind of punchy in the
Yeah.
face too.
burns down my throat and it stays there all night.
I want the full effect, man. Get it in
I'm,
my eye.
I'm getting the flavors, but
From
it's
the guy
not,
who sucks on nicotine lozenges.
it's not irritating me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You don't have to down a bottle of
So to
Tums.
me, this is the only way that I'm going to get those flavors
I think it's your
because I
diet.
can't drink anything else.
I'm full in with flavors, man. I'm all get it in my eye.
No, but it
I'm all
hurts.
about
It hurt. Like it burns me. Like it hurts my throat.
Oh, all right. All
That's
right.
it's like it's not a matter
This
of
is not
like, this is
enjoyable.
too intense. It's
Yeah.
this literally hurts, and I'm supposed to be having fun right now.
Yeah.
It- like you know what I mean?
You like it in the can. It's the best.
See, that's a little different. At least there's an end
There's
game.
blood, and there's not supposed. This is supposed to be fun. And there's poop,
Monster49@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you're
poo and blood, and this is not fun.
you should write like beer reviews for like there's poo and blood. It's not fun.
What is that? And not to bring up another podcast, but what is the being that's made out of like semen, blood, and shit in Magic Tavern?
Fuck, what's he called?
That's like what he's created out of.
Yeah,
is
he's like-
semen, blood, and like shit.
By a wizard. Actually, I actually did want to bring up other podcasts on this podcast because obviously anybody that listens to this is either a friend of ours or they like podcasts. There's really no, that's basically it. So people who do like podcasts, I've been listening to a lot of them lately, and I just want to fucking shout out My Dad Wrote a Porno because I just listened to the entire thing. It's really fucking funny. You should check it out. I just started listening to Serial. I know I'm fucking way behind on that, but it's like amazing. If you liked Making a Murderer on Netflix, fucking listen to Serial. It's really cool. And Jay and I listened to Hello from the Magic Tavern. We're actually going to see them live at Comic-Con next month.
Early next week. A couple weeks away.
Yeah, that one's really funny too. So check that out.
It's probably the best podcast I've ever heard.
Well, my favorite is Your Mom's House, I think, but I do like Hello from the Magic Tavern a lot.
Shout out to Joe Rogan. We love Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
Because we
A lot of Rogan, a lot of Joey Diaz.
most of our episodes.
Who's that?
Who's Joe Rogan? I think anybody who's ever fucking
Burnt Chrysler.
gone
has
on the
it.
internet. knows
Burnt
who,
Chrysler has a good podcast too.
I've actually
that?
never listened to Burnt because I'm
Burnt Chrysler.
I'm
What
a
is
Tom,
that?
or Tom
Burnt-
Segura. I'm a
Burnt
Tom
Chrysler.
Segura fan, so I feel like I'm not allowed to listen to Burnt Chrysler's.
Oh, can we talk about music after you tell me who Burnt Chrysler is?
Burt Kreischer.
It's Burnt Chrysler. Yeah.
Burt Kreischer is the guy that was
He's the machine.
he's the machine, but he's
Dude,
also
I love that skit.
Van Wilder. You know the movies Van Wilder?
Yes.
They were based on Burt Kreischer's real life. He's a stand-up comedian now.
All of the Van Wilder movies?
Yeah.
Dude, that Russian
is
skit
Van
that he does.
I mean, loosely.
The Machine. That's the
Yeah.
Machine. Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was in one of them, right?
Yeah, the first one.
He was Van Wilder.
This has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I've always said that I feel like Samuel Adams Oktoberfest is like different year to year.
I think all of their seasonals are different.
this is a good year.
I
No,
always
I'm.
like it.
This is a
I
very
always
good
said.
year.
I even made a post the other day. Like it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite
Off
beers.
the music topics, but this is a very good year.
It's definitely one of my favorite beers of all time. I love every year. I'm
There's
excited
been-
that it's coming out.
there's been
I
some
look for
shitty
it.
years.
I look to be
Now
the first person.
I'm not blowing Sam Adams because Sam Summer is one of my least favorite beers.
Yeah, I don't like Sam Summer.
Yeah, well, this
But-
beer has sucked certain seasons.
But I
this
like
is good.
Oktoberfest so much that there was a time that we were all at Porky's and we killed.
We drank.
I don't know how
pitchers.
much
We drank like 5
Sam
pitchers
Summer.
of summer to get to the Oktoberfest.
So
that was out there.
I was working while you guys
So a
were
little bit of
drinking it,
backstory.
dicks.
We're all at Porky's. I think it was basically
BBs.
it was Porky's. It was me, Gary, and Jeff, and then a couple of
Jay
people
was
came
bartending.
In.
I was
Yeah, Jay was
bartending because
working.
my life's. I've made many
And-
bad life choices.
Well, yeah, and so it's the three of us at the bar, and like it's like a Sunday afternoon or some shit, I think. So a couple other people were with us at the bar, but not really drinking. Jay comes up and says, "Oh, we got Sam October in," so we get really excited.
Yeah, we thought that meant, oh, it's on tap.
Right.
And he's like, next.
Okay, good.
Later.
Give it to us. Oh no, I can't. We
You
have to kill.
you
we have to
motherfuckers
kill.
got some work to do.
It's like we have to kill Summer first. We're like, fuck. Go downstairs, pick it up, see how much there is. He comes up. He's like, it's not that much. So we're like, fucking game on. All right. I don't know what it was. I think we did between the three
4
of
to
us.
5
Listen,
pitchers, probably.
I was gonna say 5 to 6.
Okay.
But
I
it,
wasn't drinking, so 4 to 5.
4 to 5, whatever. 4 to 5 pitchers between the three of us, just to kill it to get to the Oktoberfest. Then we did another like
just to start drinking.
yeah. Then we did like another 4 or 5 pitchers of October. But that was like one of my. I don't know if I tasted October by the time we got to it, but
You did. It's a very different flavor profile. You did.
I feel bad saying this.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Sam Oktoberfest. It's good.
I generally am
It's
not either.
you're lucky this is your house, or I'd kick you out.
There's way better Oktoberfest.
Paulsner.
I mean,
Paulsner Oktoberfest is
Paulsner.
See,
Pauliner.
I don't.
Paulner.
Pauliner, you
There's
mean.
an S in there.
No. Pauliner Oktoberfest or
Pauliner.
Hacker Shore.
I mean, listen,
is
I
great.
like Spaten.
Spaten's good.
Spaten's good.
But I've come a long way from that.
I don't know.
Spaten's the one that everybody knows.
Actually,
Spaten's the German Oktoberfest that Americans know.
The Hofbrau stuff's good too.
Hofbrau's good.
Part
Yeah.
of the thing with
Actually,
Spaten, though, is that
and
they make
Hacker
it all
Shore is
year.
very good. You know what? And the brewery I used to work for, Voracious, probably the best beer.
Be gracious.
No, that Voracious, the best beer that they produce, in my opinion, has been consistently over the past 2 years. They've brewed it twice. Their Oktoberfest is fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
their
a very
Oktoberfest was really good.
traditionally German. It's
Yeah.
a traditional German Oktoberfest.
And another good
phenomenal.
Oktoberfest. Speaking of this weekend is the Two Roads Oktoberfest, which is fucking delicious too.
Not bad. I've had it.
I like
Who
it.
is
It's pretty
speaking of this weekend?
Speaking of the weekend, when I was in Toronto, he
This
actually
coming
played,
weekend is
he
October-
actually
is
played
there
Toronto
October?
when I was at the wedding. I unfortunately I missed him.
Who?
The weekend.
Oh,
weekend.
the weekend.
Let's keep talking about music. I've been listening to Mastodon a lot.
Mastodon's fucking amazing.
That was one of the best shows I've seen. It was
Yeah.
like
I've
Mastodon,
yet to see them live.
Stone Temple Pilots, and
Yeah, see, I don't know how I
Fuck,
feel
I
about
forget who
that.
else.
It's not
Mastodon's
Stone Temple
dope,
Pilots,
dude.
though. Scott
Crack the
Weiland.
Sky.
Alice in Chains, I think.
Crack the Sky is fucking sick.
This guy's great. Their new album, Emperor's Sand, I believe that's what it's called, is pretty freaking great. And if anyone's ever lost a loved one to cancer, check it out because
yes, I
the
have.
whole album is an allegory for cancer. The Emperor
Really?
is the antagonist. The Emperor is cancer. So it's all like, they're very known for like medieval type kind of lore, almost lyrics and stuff, the way they write. They're really good musicians. But it's all
Weird, like time signatures and stuff.
yeah,
They're really
it's all
good.
related to, it's all cancer because they just went through some personal things with family members and stuff. It's a great album. And Ancient Kingdom, that track is fucking amazing. Check it out. That's all I want to say about that.
Speaking of allegories, Hello from the Magic Tavern is an allegory.
I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't listened in a while. Shut up. Paula, what have you been listening to?
I listen to like a
Wu-Tang?
really broad, a really broad spectrum of music, and it all depends on like what mood I'm in. But I posted put some mood music on yesterday, and I posted a Instagram.
Oh, on
post.
Instagram, yeah.
Tim Maya, which is actually one of my like personal.
What is it?
It's a song called Quebeleza, which is a.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's a Brazilian guy, but it's like a really.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Well, you don't need to understand the words. The music's just like really funky and like has like a kind of just like a neat rhythm to it. So I listened to that, and I listened to a lot of like older punk music, ska and stuff, like old
Ska, right?
like original ska, like first wave ska though, like Jamaican ska,
Like, what are we talking about?
like the Skylights.
That's not first. That's American ska.
Not ska, you know what I mean? Like the.
Is this a ska debate?
I'm too many.
Can that
beers.
happen?
Are you falling asleep?
No. I'm just too many beers in to remember names.
It is the Canadian Beer Spectacular.
It is.
Yuller. We have another one on deck right now, actually.
What's next? We got two more.
We have done this brewery a few times, but I am a huge fan. I've loved everything that we've had from them so far. They are based out of Toronto.
Even the hoppy ones?
Yes, I like everything we've had from them. This is, once again, Collective Arts.
I like them too.
I actually thought about
I'm
stopping-
drunk, I think, because I just smelled my microphone instead of the beer.
I was going to stop in at the brewery while I was up there, but I just ended up not having time. I would have loved to check out their operation because everything they're doing is really cool, and I've loved everything they've had so far. This one is called the Saint of Circumstance. It's a citrus blonde
Oh, okay. I thought it was a pale ale.
ale with orange and lemon zest.
I smelled it and I was like, that smells terrible.
No, you smelled your microphone.
No, because I thought afterwards, I thought it was like
That was your breath.
I thought it was a hoppy beer. And
Oh, this
what?
smells horrible. Oh, that's me.
It does have a like a exquisite smell to it.
Well, a lot of times when you're smelling something, it's like if you're thinking it's something else and you smell a different smell, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
was expecting like citrus tropical like IPA, and
Yeah.
I did not get that.
They say that smell is the strongest sense tied to memory, and I found that to be
It's
like
emotional.
really, really true.
No, it
It's an
is, yeah.
emotional
Like,
That's
response
really
almost.
like when I smell like things that like remind me of something. Like
You immediately go back.
dude,
it's always,
immediately,
I
it's
don't know.
always tied to a memory.
three-dimensionally,
I
like
don't
in
know.
the room.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because you've already put like a negative twinge on the smell, but kind of smells like stale urine.
Oh no, I forgot to put beer in yours.
Like like
That's the
those.
second time you've
You know what it smells like? You know those Gatorade bottles you find on the side of the road, but they're not full of Gatorade.
No, because why do you know what that smells like?
Well, you know.
I mean, I know what it
So
smells like because
thirsty.
Jeff has left him in my car.
Oh yeah, I did pee in his car. That was
That was on the way to Doug's.
That was really funny. But yeah, it was on the way to Doug's. But we played a double header that day. We were on our way to the second show. We were
Definitely
playing
my
that day.
least favorite Collective Arts beer so far.
Let's just say my cup overfloweth in the back of Dave's car.
We
What's
went
your
to-
least favorite Collective Arts?
on the way to a Mets
far.
game once. I had
Well,
a,
it's a different style. It's completely.
I had a buddy of
different
mine that had to pee into a couple beer cans, and he
How do you get into a can?
aiming, I guess.
Dude, you'd cut your dick up.
But he,
that's-
what's funny is he topped off one can and had to fill up a second one.
style. If you're not circumcised yet,
And once the cans were full, this is in rush hour traffic in Queens. So the driver of the car instantaneously made the request of the cans being removed from the car, which is fun in traffic. So the whole side door of the van slides open, and this gentleman places 2 full beer cans out on the road, and then as the van's still rolling, you see the door slide back closed again. And we drove alongside this couple in like a Mazda 3 or something, and he knew exactly what we did. And the passenger did not break eye contact for the next 45 minutes.
Were they doing like the
of
finger
traffic.
eyes? Like,
No, everybody else in the van kind of just stopped looking over, and me the whole time, because I'm not the guilty party. So I'm like, you got to understand, he had to take a piss. There's no bathrooms around here at all. You still look disgusted, lady. I mean, I feel I need to further explain to you, this man was not making it to a restroom.
I have
I feel bad for the person that ran over those cans eventually.
we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, and I've talked about it a lot in my personal life. I have to pee all the time.
I gotta pee right now.
It's probably because your prostate's huge.
Well, I mean, everything else is. I don't know why my prostate wouldn't be. But
Does Sobe still make stuff?
What?
Where the fuck did that come from?
I peed in a Sobe bottle once in Rochester, New York.
So that's like,
but what I
I
was going
feel
to
like
say,
those Sobe pina coladas, that's all it was good for. You dump the pina colada out.
Sobe yourself.
penis
Remember that guy?
colossus.
Because have you ever had one of those? The Sobe pina coladas? They're disgusting. I feel like the only reason they would sell those is for you to pour out and piss in the bottom.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, because I have to pee so much, I actually have like 2 empty, like really big Snapple bottles, like this big,
Yeah.
in my his face. Dave has 2 computers. He's got one up on the desk today, and I always said, like, I've never spilled anything before, but now that you have a computer here, I'm going to spill something. And I totally just spilled a cup, but there was nothing in it, so it's fine. But his face was really hilarious. As soon as he heard the cup hit the, he was like, "Oh shit!" But no, I have these 2 big, like really big Snapple bottles in my car that are empty because I know that someday I'm gonna have to piss in one because, like, if I'm in traffic or whatever. And I'll tell you what, I've been in traffic a couple times now and like really, really had to use them, and I couldn't. I got like stage fright.
Did you actually put your penis in it?
I tried to, but it's really hard when
What do
you're
you mean
sitting
you
down.
tried to?
It's hard when you're sitting.
You gotta kind of like surfboard a bit.
Yeah, but I have a fucking steering wheel in front of me.
The problem
Just
is
gotta push
once
the seat back.
once you get that first release and it starts flowing,
I can't stop. It burns.
the
I
face
can't
you-
stop once I start. It burns.
the face you make is a total giveaway to other drivers.
Well, you gotta put your game face on. You can't let people know. You just stare straight forward.
Yeah.
Just pretend you're that tall.
I think the problem was
You got your hand up on the sunroof,
when I peed in Dave's backseat.
kind of peeking over
I think
to
it
the
was
guy next to you. Don't know why.
I think it was
Just
a
kinda
regular
looking over.
Snapple bottle, and I had about 6 Snapples in me at the time.
yeah, that was a problem.
It filled up real quick.
Yeah.
and then I couldn't.
But at
stop.
least it had
You
a
can
lid.
hold a lot of pee in you.
But
Yeah.
at least you had rubber mats on the floor.
You always get some on your pants, even when you're trying not to.
It's
What
definitely-
is
it's
with the little bit at the end always fucking?
No matter
never
how many
all
times you
comes
shake
out.
it
It
off,
never all comes out.
Your boxers are getting like a dribble.
Yeah, it never all comes
Yeah.
out.
Okay, I have a question for you guys that's gonna.
That's
get
why I
edited out
masturbate
of the podcast.
every time I pee, so no urine can get on my pants.
Wait, before you go any further, I gotta know what's the logic behind that.
No, that was just a joke. It's not true.
Yeah. It's hyperbole. That's all it is.
Hyperbole. It's a good word.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
I don't have that much time in a day.
How many times do you pee?
Yeah,
Not a
I
lot.
gotta.
I don't go to the bathroom a lot.
I
when
really
work.
need to let everybody know this. There's it has. There's the smell
It's got
is
a
beer.
funk. It's got a funk
It's-
to it.
It's orange. It's got notes of Portalet.
Honey bucket. It's got honey bucket in it.
Listen, you can't knock them out of the park every time.
You can't.
Collective Arts.
I don't know. I feel like we're shitting on them right now.
Yeah, we love collective arts. This might be our
Dude.
least favorite collective arts, but like,
Yeah. Did I press the pause button? No, that's it. That's the end of. Hey, Jeff.
yeah.
I think I don't know what happened. I think the podcast stopped short. I think it stopped recording early.
What?
Yeah, like the last half hour is like cut out.
Dude, that had like the phone call and all that funny shit in it?
Yeah, and then Jay got menstrual cycles and Aurora Borealis mixed up. All that stuff got cut out.
What an idiot. Is there anything left in the file, or is it just like...
No,
over?
it just ends early. I think Dave, kind of feel bad saying this, but I think Dave fucked up with the memory card again. I think.
God damn it. Why does this keep happening?
I don't know.
I think we're going to have to cut his pay.
We don't pay him anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
You should probably wake Jay up.
Jay. Hey, Jay. He's fucking out, man. How long has he been here?
Yeah, Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Jay! Dude, like, he passes out here all the time. You should charge him rent. He's always here. Yeah, Jay.
I don't know if he works.
Ah. What?
Podcast is fucked up again.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's like, it just stopped playing and there's like nothing left in the
Damn
phone.
it.
Where's Dave?
I think he's working a show tonight. Something like that. I don't know what he does for work.
Well, he certainly doesn't fucking produce a podcast properly.
This didn't happen again, did it?
Yeah, I think we better call him. See if he, like, maybe he can debug it or something.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get his phone number pulled up.
This sucks. Why does this keep happening?
I don't know, man. It's like something about a memory card. The guy's got 2 fucking computers here. I don't know why.
Two rings?
You've reached Dave at
ignore?
TV Studios Multimedia. Unfortunately, I can't get to your call right now, but if you leave your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Unless this is Paula or Jay, you guys can go fuck yourselves. Jeff, baby, you got my number.
What the fuck is that about?
I didn't know you guys hadn't heard that yet.
Maybe I can fuck myself.
I don't ever to call anyone, really.
He thinks you guys are mouth breathers.
I have a deviated septum. That's a medical problem. I can't help that.
The fuck?
What do you? Wait, hold on. He said you have his number. I thought isn't that his cell phone number?
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
He has another phone number.
There's another one.
All right.
Try this one.
All right. Hold on.
This one's more of like a hotline.
Hey, party people, you reached Diamond Dave. What's up? Leave a message. I'll get back to you. Let me know where the party's at. Unless this is Jeff. Go fuck yourself. And don't dare give Jay or Paula this number.
That's funny.
Yeah. I guess he's busy.
Should we text him?